Welcome to Daytona. This is Daytona, California. Welcome to Daytona Beach. If you come to California, Daytona, Florida. Here we go. That's where we're at. Actually, in Foreman Beach. If you look at the thumbnail there, it shows Penny Morris. Kind of went over there and talked a little bit about that. And we're going to take a little bit about what we're seeing, what we're doing. Some of you might be watching the NASCAR. Checking the sound. I know it's a lot earlier than normal, but
You're trying to hear the noise in the background.
maybe we'll try to get inside. See more over that way.
We're still here. Hey, we're back.
So I'm going to kind of turn the camera so maybe you can hear us a little bit better. We got the speakers and stuff going on. We got on there. Now again, sound isn't that great. They've got the speakers going on. They've got the race on, so it's kind of loud.
Kind of echoey too.
I don't know. Let me unplug the microphone and see if. Oh, it might have came on the front. Let me check. I don't know. Let's see settings. Let's see audio. Yeah, it went back to default. I want. Check 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me? Give it a minute. Give it a minute. Give it a minute. Give it a minute. Any better?
Maybe a tiny bit, not a whole lot.
Alright. Unless the race gets over before it's going on. But they've got their speakers going on, so it's kind of loud. Probably should have some headsets with that talking to with the racers. There's RV Biker 18. He says, "Hello guys, long time no chat. Glad to have you coming on tonight." There's Bull. He says, "Hey, I will be at Bike Week the 10th through the 13th." Okay. If you don't have our information, you can go to. Oh, we can put it on there. Email. You can contact us right there, and you can give us your phone number, and then we'll send you our phone number, and then you can text us when you're here, and we kind of tell you kind of what we're doing and what's going on. And we're going to talk about it tonight. Some of the things we're going to be doing. There's Slim Jim's on. Rick Rains. Good evening, guys. Doing well. Oh, he's home with COVID.
Better soon.
Yeah.
You don't have any ill side effects.
Yeah. Hopefully. Seems like it's kind of. I don't know. The version now is going around. It's more like a head cold, but you kind of get down for a few days. Hopefully. Tracy's on from Stockton, Virginia. So we're going to talk a little bit about Daytona. What's going on? Bike rally's not, but it is big race weekend. We got to watch the Thunderbirds. That's what they were. Thunderbirds flyover is really neat. Actually, they flew over like 10 times. We'll see how it all turned out. The last time, it actually, you're not going to be able to hear it because it was so loud when it came over the last.
My ears ran for a while after that one.
Yeah. So, but we're going to tell you some. We're going to tell you some of the things that we've seen. Some of the things that there's some rumors going around there about some of the different things that are going on and stuff like that. So we're going to kind of clarify that tonight about Daytona. Then you guys can ask any questions you'd like. We got here on Friday. So we spent a little time Friday, and then today we did a little bit out today. I don't know if Dakota or Daytona Day is going to come on, but we'll see. Getting suspension done. Suspension technology on Saturday, and wheels from Costa Moto on Friday. There you go. Sounds pretty exciting. There's David Eastwood. That's not.
David Eastwood is the guy from Salt Lake City.
Okay.
He's been at Meadows.
Oh, okay.
All
right. Okay, got it. So what's kind of going on here in Daytona is it's going to get hot. Last 2 days we got a little bit of coolness yesterday. Actually turned the furnace on a little bit. Not last night, the night before. Last night I didn't turn the furnace on. It only got into like the high 50s, so it wasn't too awful bad. So it worked out pretty well there. Today, when we started out this morning, it was really hot. And I was like, geez, I need to put my shorts on. But then once we got down around the water and stuff like that, it was a little, still kind of breezy. They said the wind supposed to kind of cut down. But by next weekend, we're going to be like, they're going to break the records. We're going to be in the 90s and hot and muggy probably. So starting tomorrow, we'll probably be on the bike. We did have a tragic thing happen to the truck. I haven't decided. We won't talk about it tonight. It broke down, and we'll talk. I haven't decided if I'm gonna do a video. She kind of caught it at the end of it, so I haven't decided if I'm doing a video on it or not. We're gonna talk about a couple hotels that we've seen that are closed. We have one video that's gonna come out Monday. We're not gonna tell you the name of that hotel until Monday. You can see it.
But you can still book a reservation there.
That's right. I went online, and you can still book. Insane. Now, the other one I didn't look at, which we're going to talk about tonight, we're going to give you a name. We just seen one a few minutes ago that was closed up. I still walked around the place and you couldn't find a damn thing wrong with the building, but it said it's closed due to storm.
Well, it's so funny because this motel's open, this motel's open, this one's closed. This one's open, this one's open. And it's like, I guess it maybe depends one on how old the structure was and how, I guess,
how bad the water got in, things like that. Because a lot of it, so we went all the way down to Ponce Inlet. So we're going to talk all the way about that today. We're going to talk about the lighthouse. We're going to talk about Flagler Beach. We're going to talk about the Ormond Loop. We've got about beach conditions, where what you can do, what you can't do. So we got quite a bit of time tonight to tell you guys about if you're thinking about coming to Daytona. If you're not, we also have a great campground that is never full. We're going to talk about, which you guys probably already, some of you may already know, but if you're looking for a place to come down at the last minute, you got an RV or a tent, got a great place, very inexpensive, got great showers. And we just went in there today and filmed it again. We've got to go through there today just for the fact that there's some RVs there because of Bike Week or Daytona, Daytona 500. They're only open 3 times a year for both Bike Weeks and also for the race. That's the only time this campground's open. And but it's a lot better than a lot of the other ones, but there's not any real hookups. So we're going to talk about that tonight, and might be other things that I forgot we're going to talk about. And
How you doing, Bill?
And
He's
Facebook.
from Washington.
Okay. Washington, Missouri.
No, Washington State. We met him in, I think those are the only people we actually met up there when we went up to
Oh, okay.
State Washington. We ate breakfast with them at the.
I booked a hotel in Palm Coast. Okay, yeah, we're not going over to Palm Coast checking that out. Hello from Pennsylvania. Gray's Motor Life is on. Hello. And Greg, hello from Michigan. We're getting ready for Daytona. That's right. So we'll go into a little bit tonight, and depending on if you guys have any questions or if it's pretty much a hotel that you book that's inland, you really don't have to worry too much about them. Some of them do have plastic up on the roofs and stuff. Don't stay on the top floor or two. Bottom floors seem to be the ones that a lot of the hotels, pretty much all the hotels, had some kind of damage, water damage on the lower levels. We still see, we went out to Ponce Inlet yesterday, and there were still people, big apartment, big hotels, condos, things like that. We're still putting furniture out on the street to get picked up. So they're still cleaning up. There's several hotels that still have trucks in front that are doing moisture and water and mold control and things like that. So there's still a lot of that going on. There's a lot of the hotels. We went by the Hard Rock today. Looked like they were up and going. We're going to give them a call. A lot of, probably 95% of the hotels are up and full running. We did see talk a little bit about the beach. Pretty much from Main Street heading towards the Ponce Inlet, most of the beach is closed. Reason is you can't get to it. All the parking lots along there on the left side that you ride along to where you can park and walk over the bridge and go down into the dock or whatever you want to call it, the staircase to get you down there, the wooden staircase. Those parking lots are just closed. They got them blocked off. Can't even go on them. So we did.
Because a lot of them, they'll have the here, there a little bit, or the deck, and then there's nothing.
So we're going to show you some of that on Monday's video. We'll kind of show you what happens if you go underneath where it says, yeah, don't go under there. Or the beach is closed. What it says is just it's closed. And so I went underneath it, and you can see on the video what you see on the beach. Some of the hotels that we've seen, some of them, which is going to be on the video come Monday, you can see the devastation. One of them probably lost 100 yards of their back property is gone. Pool, decking, everything. That's one of the ones that is actually condemned right now. That it's still taking reservations. So if you book something on Hotwire,
Media.
anything. But I mean, I even went to this place's website, and they were still advertising it. They even had a picture of their gigantic pool on the back deck, which is complete. Which I went back there. I didn't even know there was a pool back there. There ever was one when I went back and filmed it. But then today I thought, while I was doing the video, I'm gonna look and see if they've got anything. A lot of times they put on their website, temporarily closed due to storm or whatever. Nope. It looks like if you put it to their website, it looks like they're open and they're ready for business. And so if you booked any of the places that we just went over, Expedia, anything like that, you need to contact the hotels. And if you've got one that's not that, we're going to show you a couple. We're going to talk about one tonight that we already see that's closed. And if it's one of these ones that it's coming out on tomorrow's video, you need to call the city or the county and find out what the hell is going on. Because if they've got like the one I showed you for the Monday's video, it's right on the door, condemned. No one entered this property until an engineer, either the owners, yeah, and that's major because they got to do drilling and all kinds of stuff. There's no way that's going to get done. It just isn't going to happen. And once you watch my video and go to their website and look and see what the property looks like behind it and what they've got downstairs, then you understand that building may have to be torn down. So the other one that we went by today, we just seen, and it wasn't on the video because I hadn't filmed it yet, or we already finished the video, is Maverick. There's a place that's maverick.com. And actually, I just walked around the place. Couldn't find a damn thing wrong with it, but they got a sign on the front door saying closed due to storm. Yeah, but I mean, there was nothing. The back looked fine all the way around it. So I don't know.
Bobby just said that he's got his cousin down in Fort Myers, and they're finally getting everything.
Yeah. Well,
they got hit a lot harder.
Yeah.
We're going to be down there April 1st. So.
I said you're not coming through the mic very well.
Oh. That's all right. He's doing most of the talking anyway.
We'll move it a little closer. Maybe that'll help. So you got headshots. And all right. So we'll see if you can hear her better now.
Is that JD?
Got a little closer.
Not hearing Tam very well. Okay. Can you hear me better now?
Can you hear me now? So that's a little bit of the update of what's going on. Most of the things, we made it down to Flagler Beach today. I don't know where this was at, but on the A1A, it's supposed to have collapsed. We've seen stuff on Facebook and stuff like that. I see different places where it's been, it's like they laid a little bit of asphalt, but I mean, like 20 feet or 30 feet of it. And the pictures I seen looked a lot worse than that. So we drove all the way through Flagler. Never seen anything. There is some big equipment down there that looks like they've been kind of building up I guess they call them the sand dunes. But I can't see any place that is. All the bars in Flagler Beach are open. We just went down there and it's packed down there. You couldn't even find a place. We were going to stop and go in and you could not even find a parking spot.
We were looking for a place to go live.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we're at the Hooligans in Destination Daytona. This is now Teddy Morrison's Daytona Harley Davidson.
So if you look at the thumbnail that I had on here today, it was a picture of Teddy Morris. He does not have any official signs up. What they did is took the Bruce Rossmeyer sign down, and they just put up some like banners, and it says Teddy Morris on it. So the one that I showed, So when I showed you the one that I used for the thumbnail, that's actually where it's actually not the door you walk in, it's the door that's actually closed, and it's kind of the overhang that they made out of the same material, leather or not leather, but plastic or whatever they do. Yeah, vinyl. That's it. So. We'll see more next week. We're going to be meeting with Shelly. Shelly's still in charge. Shelly Rossmeyer is still in charge of the dealership. We will be talking to Teddy Morris. We should have him on the video either Friday or Saturday in 2 weeks.
Of the rally.
Yeah. So the rally isn't for 2 more weeks. So actually, as of last Friday,
2 days ago,
it was 2 weeks before the rally starts.
So now we're 12 days away from it.
Yeah. So it's counting down. Went down on the main street. Same thing. We don't see much going on Main Street. It's pretty much the first block or so. Cruise the Cafe is open all the time. Phoenix and George is open except for a couple days they close. Dirty Harry's has got Dirty Harry's is open. Also, Froggy's on the other side of the street. It is open. Bar is open all the time.
Not the big back.
Probably the biggest crowd was down at Boot Hill. They were pretty crowded. I think they're celebrating their 50th anniversary, so it's kind of neat. So they're doing a lot of stuff down there. That seemed to be right now the hottest place to be. They had bikes lined up in front of the place. They were letting cars park on the side where you normally have all the tables at, and so that was pretty much going on.
Main Street Station was open.
Yep.
They had some people in there.
Yeah.
That's kind of bike week, but they had.
Yeah. And there was a few bikes there, and we've seen a lot of motorcycles out and about. So today got a little warmer, so a lot of people out riding. We were going to do it, but somebody fixed their hair, so she says, "I'm going to go down the truck today."
Well, he doesn't tell me. I'm in the middle of no one's done. He's like, "You take the motorcycle or the truck?" They told me 10 minutes ago, take the motorcycle. But it did cool off some. It's not going to be as warm. It wasn't as warm today as it's going to be.
Each day it's going to get hotter here. So that's it. So what else we got going on is we went down to Ponce Inlet. So the goal was first to go down there and see how bad things looked. And that's where we found this one hotel, which is going to be on Monday. And then as we drove farther down, really you couldn't tell, other than all the parking for the beach area were closed. You couldn't go down to the beach.
And there was furniture outside the road.
Yeah. And palm leaves and stuff. Again, what they did here is you stack all your junk and trash up, and then they'll come by. We've seen a few houses there that had big giant dumpsters, like semi-truck dumpsters, full of plaster. So their house got fully soaked.
But it's a little warmer there. It's 20 degrees Fahrenheit 2 days ago in Michigan. Today it was 50. That's barbecue weather. You wear shorts and t-shirts.
That's
I
right.
remember in the Midwest when it hit 50 in the winter, you were out in shorts and t-shirts.
So we went down to Ponce Inlet, went down to the lighthouse. It's up and going. The bar across the street, which is kind of if we do our ride, which we'll talk about all that in a little bit, it's open and fully going. Pretty much all the restaurants along A1A are open. What's the other one? Scappies? Scrappies?
Oh, Krabby's.
Krabby's. They're open. Right next door is like a Jimmy Buff. People are yelling out. What are they so excited about? We just got some noisy people around us.
Land Shark, is that open?
Yeah, that's it. Land Shark was open. So most of the stuff's kind of along there is open. We didn't really see it's over by where we're staying at. The Boston Market's closed. But other than that, most of the restaurants along there, we went to Steve's restaurant yesterday and ate their sign fell down, but they're still open. That hog barbecue place is supposed to be, the property got sold. They're open. So most of the stuff you probably wouldn't notice anything. Now the other thing was the Ponce Inlet where you can go in where it's the state property. It is open. Actually, there was nobody there. They weren't taking money. They weren't asking for money. They weren't doing nothing. The jetty is closed. You'll see tomorrow in the video what they mean by closed. But the beach level didn't look too bad. There were people fishing. There were some boats out there. You wouldn't even know anything happened. You could look down the beach. I could see some cars farther down. They had gotten on the beach. But down around, now the tide was high when we first went down, so you couldn't see it. But today we were out, and when we looked behind a couple of these buildings, you could see people are driving on the beach. But it's very sparse where they're letting you go down in. That's the big thing. Not every place can you go down. Normally where you could.
2 years ago at Krabby's. Okay, there we go.
Their is on.
Yeah. So maybe if you're coming down this week, Tracy, we'll see you then too. How you doing?
So what we got planned for this once bike week starts. Now, if you're getting here earlier, same thing. Just contact us first on. Contact us at bobandtams.com. Send us your phone number. We'll send you back our phone number, and then you text us. Never call us. We don't have that phone on very much. It's our business phone here. You can contact us and send us a text, and then we'll get a hold of you and kind of tell you what's going on or where we're at or whatever's going on. So this time we got a lot of things we're going to be doing this year. So starting off on the first Friday, it's kind of iffy right now because we need to make another phone call. Sons of Speed. You probably maybe have heard me talk about that. If you're into antique motorcycles or you like old school racing, That's it. That is, I had no
Art
idea.
would probably like it. Wouldn't
And who?
Art.
Yeah. Anybody, what's neat about these motorcycles, most of them are one-cylinder bikes, no brakes on a dirt track. And you don't see any wrecks or nothing like, well, we didn't see any wrecks, I don't think. Last year, it was the first year we went. So this year on Friday, it's going to be the practice time. And we're thinking about going out there because I didn't realize last year, every one of these freaking people riding these bikes are somebody famous. You know, you think about Billy Lane. Oh, of course, Billy Lane's there. But I mean, Jody Perowitz, her parents, and stuff, their family's there. All these people, you know, Shelley Rossmeyer racing, but there's tons and tons of people that are involved with these racing. And it's like bike builders and everything else. And I was like, holy crap. So I want to go out on Friday, get everybody's names. I can Google them all so I can figure out who the heck they are so we can have more fun with them. So that's on Friday night, or Friday. I don't know if it's night or day. Saturday is going to be very, very hectic for us. We got to be down at, is it New Smirnoff? Is that the track?
Yeah.
New Smirnoff track. It's just past the Cabbage Patch and all that. You just go past that. Next thing, next stop sign, T in the road is tracks on the right. If you pre-order, I think it's $20 or $25. You can go for $100. You can have lunch or dinner with the people. Plus, you get VIP passes to get into the pits. Because I don't think they're selling pit passes this year, not according to the website. So we're going to be there between 11 and 11:30 because that's what it takes to get into the pits. Because once the race starts at noon, they're telling us now they're going to be back to races. Once the first ones go out, they're going to line the next group up and they're going to be sitting there ready to go. So there won't be the pause.
Actually, there was like probably a 10-minute break between each heat.
And you could have, there was times they'd let you run across the track. And so this year, I think it's going to be until intermission, there's going to be any chance. So I don't know how long we'll stay. Now, we definitely want to do one more thing in the day, which is over at 6 p.m., which is going over to the lane. They have their bike day. I don't know why they even call it bike day. Just call it Delane Day. It's from 9 o'clock in the morning till or 10. Yeah, till 6 at night. 6, I think. And it's like, that's not much. But I want to go over there and see it. Been there, done that. So we're hoping to get over there. Typically, they said the race should be over by 3. It's 15 minutes to get over there. We'll see what happens. So that's planned. We had other things planned in the morning, and that's not going to happen now. So Sunday, we're going to be at the Beaver Bar. They do breakfast at 8 o'clock. We're going to get there about 7:45 and try to get some places to set up. If you're going to come to that, once again, email us and let us,
click on, no, the other side. There.
And let us know that you want to come and have breakfast with us. Now, I can't hold tables all day. You have to be there by 8 o'clock if you're going to come in. Between 7:30 and 8 o'clock, you need to get there. We're going to try to sit out on the front porch that they have there. They do have some more picnic tables there. We drove by there the other day. They got a lot of picnic tables now around all the way around the outside. I don't know if they'll move them or not. We're going to talk to the owner there. She's in town now. So we'll be talking to her in the next few days about that. So Sunday, which would be the 5th, I guess, because it starts on the 3rd. Yeah, 3rd, 4th, 5th. 5th will be at the Beaver Bar in the morning. Don't have any real plans in the afternoon as of yet. Monday is the Bike Builders Breakfast. That's at Destination Daytona. You need to pre-order that too if you want to go. I think it's $20 or $25. All the money goes to charity. Great causes. Check it out. I think it's like 9 to 11 or 8 to 10 or something.
I think it's 9 to 11.
But you get to meet a lot of people. Usually Rusty Wallace shows up there. Billy Lane was there last year. You can take pictures with him on one of his bikes. Kind of neat. Yeah. So kind of neat. So that's where it's kind of going to. So that's what we're doing on Monday. Tuesday, we're thinking about taking all of you, if you'd like to go out on a ride. Oh, yeah, we did that. So Monday afternoon, we're going to do a meet and greet. That'll be our first meet and greet from noon to 2 at the Ciro booth over in Destination Daytona.
On the other side of James and Cycles.
Yeah. Unless they move. JP. So somewhere Ciro is in that area, somewhere on Destination Daytona's property, they will have their truck. And hopefully, as soon as we find out where it's at, we'll let you all know. We'll probably do a little short on some of these stuff. Remind you the day before, hey, here's where we're going to be tomorrow. If you want to check it out, you want to meet us, have that opportunity, there it'll be. So Tuesday is we're going to offer you guys a ride. If you guys want to ride with us, contact us Tuesday. We haven't done the route yet. We got to see how long it takes us. We're looking to the original idea is to do the loop, end up in Ponce Inlet down there at that bar restaurant on the left hand side.
Next to the lighthouse.
Yeah, so we're gonna go down there and talk to them.
Oh, Hidden Treasures, I believe.
Yeah, that's what it was. And we'll go down there and talk to them, and we'll figure out what we can do. And once we can figure out how many people want to go with us, that's what we're doing. Wednesday, we are doing the Bells ride. That's where it benefits women. So if you like riding with women, or you're a woman that would love to ride with other women, even guys can go on this ride. So we're going to go ahead and pay the $25 or whatever it is to ride that. We'll be filming that. It leaves from the racetrack. You go on the website. You have to pay for that in advance. You can't get it.
Everything's online.
Yes. You can't do it that day. So if you want to do it before you get down here. So we're going to be there early, film the girls, talk to them. There's going to be Laura Clockworks, which is making a big custom bike for Sturgis. She's going to be there. Whole bunch of famous women bikers and bike riders will be there. Moto Maiden.
Moto Maiden. I don't know if Moto Maiden and Santa Rosa are the same person or not, but anyway.
You go on the website. You go to, all you got to do is Google Biker Bells Daytona, and it'll take you to their website or their Facebook page or someplace. I seen all that information. I think it was a website, and they'll give you all that great information about that. Thursday, I don't think we have nothing down. Oh yeah, my number one bike show in the world, which is Willie's Tropical Chopper Show, the best in the world. If you've been watching any of our last two highlights of Daytona, and you see those gigantic crowds of people, that's at Willie's. In the springtime is always the best ever. We'll be doing a video. We'll be meeting up with Willie here this week. So we'll have a video come out giving him, he'll be talking a little bit about it and stuff like it. But even the beer they sell is all donated to veteran causes. Every penny he does it all for free. And all the people there, they're all volunteering their time. The girls serving beer and all that stuff. The bands, all that stuff. It's all volunteer because they want all the money to go to the veterans. It's a great cause. It's been doing it forever. Great thing to do on Thursday. And to show you the respect that Willie has, unless it's changed, nobody else does a bike show on Thursday. Only Willie. Where you see all these other bike shows are overlapping. The Destination Daytona's got some. The Boardwalk's got some. Rat Hole's going to have his over at the Indian dealer. Yeah. So a lot of them will override. Yeah. And they're respecting Willie and his long battle for doing this. So that's on Thursday. Friday, we don't have a whole lot going on. The last Saturday is micro midget wrestling again over at the Doghouse. So we'll probably be over there. We haven't sat down and talked to her yet.
Is it that last Friday, the bike burning, or is that the first Friday?
I think it's the last Friday. I don't think it's the first Friday. I think it's the last Friday is the bike burning. We may go to the bike burning. I don't know. We got to go out there and talk to him too. They already got it pretty much put together. So it's kind of way ahead of last year.
Ahead of schedule from last year. So he's doing good. I'll talk to him. We talked to somebody you got to tell them what campground we've been going to.
Okay. So today we stopped at, what's it called?
Crazy Horse.
Crazy Horse. I want to say Gulfstream. I don't know why. Crazy Horse Campground. That's the one right on the corner of Tamaka Road and the Speedway. It's their address. You can't use Tamaka Road because it takes you someplace else instead. It's some kind of route 44 or something.
You have to use the county road.
Yeah.
County road 44.
And but if you go to the flea market, it's just the road past the flea market, and it'll take you in there. But what's nice about this place is we got a video coming out. I haven't even started it. We just videotaped it today. She's getting to me. Went in, filmed the bathrooms, and people have been in there all weekend now because it's Daytona. Fairly clean. There was a little bit of mud and stuff on the floor, like somebody came in there with their shoes on. And the shower I first opened up. But on the guy's side, there's 12 showers. Women's side had 10, 9. Oh, that's kind of odd. And then on the men, did you have a little person in there? No. The men's side, I don't know if they do this during bike week or not, but they had it there. They had a little gentleman that keeps the bathroom clean, and he's trying to get money. He got cans. Here we are. Hey, here we go. We had internet trouble. We had to switch over to ours. I always worry about that when I come to a place like this because they had super great internet here, and it's not uncommon for their internet to die. And that's just what it did. So I had to switch over to our phone's internet. We look a little different, brighter. Nobody's asking me more questions.
Well, here, Daryl's just did. Friday will be a good time to see what's happening.
In Flagler Beach.
If y'all have time.
The last Friday or the first Friday?
Which one, Daryl?
First
Friday is a lot going on.
No, first Friday we only have whenever that I don't know when they're going to practice. I'm assuming it's probably in the afternoon. Would be my thought. They're probably not going to do it at night. I don't know if that track's even lit up at night. So we probably have a lot of time for that. So that's kind of our agenda right now.
Now we're back. We're back. Give a thumbs up. That's right. Gotta go. Thanks, Mark. Thanks for hanging out with us.
And so that's some of the updates that we've got going on. You know, most of the stuff is open here. There's, Hooters was open. They had a whole bunch of stuff going on. If you watch the video today, kind of just the end of that was Hooters on the video today about Daytona.
They'd have a whole lot more stuff going on. They were just having like a cornhole tournament. And I guess they must have had a ton of TVs on inside to watch races.
Yeah, because she was going to go inside and sit down, and she was in line for a long time, and I found her a chair to sit on. That's how she ended the video up with that girl walking by. We had a butt shot, but we knew YouTube would have a fit about it, so we didn't put that up. Let's save it.
I thought he said he didn't see it. I said, I had it. He's like, no, I didn't put it on the video because I didn't want to get dinged.
So right now I got a couple of videos in advance. We went to Cajun Harley. That one's done. That was supposed to be tomorrow's video, but we got the hotel that's still booking reservations. We want to tell you all about that. We want to show you the beach. We want to show you Ponce Inlet, what's going on with the jetty out there. So it's a pretty good video tomorrow. It should have been a breaking news one, but I didn't make it. So we didn't make it into that. So that's all the videos coming up tomorrow. We got Cajun Harley. We also stopped at what's the other one that
Cowboys?
Cowboys. I haven't got that. I didn't even started that one yet. I gotta get that up before the rally starts to show you that. We just went to the campground today to kind of do a drive-through and show you that. Went over to that flea market. I don't know if you guys ever went to that flea market there at Tobacco Road. That thing must have 500 dealers in there selling everything from bongs to things to get your phone fixed to leathers to you name it. Everything. And we've never really stopped in there. And I know there's a lot of tents will be outside. There'll be more motorcycle stuff. And so we're going to go, this year we're going to go over there and check that out too. Now that's closed. Right now it's only open. Today was the last day. They were open for a little more than a week for
Daytona Bike.
Yeah. So when Bike Week comes, they might open the next weekend. I don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. But we are right now, they'll be closed.
Saturday and Sunday.
But right now they're going to be closed Monday through Friday. And they open back up Saturday and Sunday. But I don't know if they're opening like here. They look like for the race, they were open the week before. So I don't know if they're going to open the week before or if they just don't open again until Friday or Saturday, and then they're open that whole week. We'll see. We'll be letting you guys know about that.
We can call somebody.
Yeah, that's right.
We have numbers.
We have contacts. And it's pretty neat because this year, actually, most of the people that we contacted, they're already here, which is kind of really neat. And they're like, Shelly Rosemeyer was like that. She just wrote and said, hey, we're going to be here on the 17th. And we didn't see the email. And she wrote back and looked at it the next day and said, if you need anything, I'm here. Come talk to me. Or we're just letting you know we were in town then.
Well, I called her on the way out here. So I said, we're going to be getting to town on the 17th. Well, she probably didn't listen to the voicemail until after the 17th of February. So she's like, I'm a little confused. Bike Week is the Thursday.
That's about March 17th.
And I said, yeah, I know. We got to town early. She's like, okay, I'm here. Whatever you need, let us know. Is that water? You got a refill?
Yeah, maybe some more tea. I think that was tea at one time, but it turned to water. All right, thank you.
If you take the I-10 home, stop in Lake Charles, I'll buy you lunch. Oh, Roadkill Run? Not St. Charles. We were in Lafayette. We stopped at Cajun Harley.
Don't know. Our plan is to go back to 40. We've actually been approached by a motorcycle rally event that actually wants to sponsor us for their event. So we're gonna go by there and little side trip to go check it out and talk to them and see what they want to do. And we may be doing their rally. So it's kind of interesting. We got somebody that actually said, "There's nobody that covers rally like you guys do. You guys do such a great job. We want you here." And he knew that that's what I said. One of my biggest things is our stipulation is what it costs us to stay someplace. You know, it gets expensive, and for us to cover this, we've got to justify that. And we don't. We'll see how the rally season is going right now. But I mean, right now for this month, we're like, I don't know, $500 or something. They didn't pay the gas. It was about $1,000 to get here. I don't know, something like that. We didn't add it up yet, but we'll have a full agenda pretty soon. We'll probably give you the exact cost of what it took us to get here, what it's going to be to get home, kind of what we spend in a rally. Thank you.
More sugar?
Yeah, maybe into a couple more packages of sugar. Thank you. So
You're our kids. We're talking to our kids.
instead of going through the whole hassle of asking them if we can just, we got approved here last time we were here.
They were like,
So normally here, yeah, last time we were here, the manager was like, no problem. He even let us find a booth that had a plug so we could use the computer. Here, I forgot everything. We didn't bring anything.
Well, I don't know what we did. What we did this morning, we went.
Go get the boots plugged in.
Yeah. And so then we were driving back, and it's like, why are all these people on this road behind the racetrack? And that's where.
Thank you.
More ice also.
Yeah, that'd be great. And they said, no, I bet you they're here to watch the flyover. Well, we actually got to see them take off, and we got to see them fly over. They flew over a bunch of times, and we got to see them land. So it was pretty cool. I thought it was fun. He's like, you didn't want to say. I said, it wasn't me. He's like,
it was about an hour. Hour and 15 minutes we sat there. Well, I kept asking her, well, where do you want to go? I don't know. Where do you want to go? Right. So we stood there. We were on the back side of the so you were looking at the grandstands, and we're on the other side of the airport. So there might have been some other better places to be, but it's hard to say. We had 3 cameras running, so we'll see how that all turns out. If there's anything worth showing you guys. Look, they had a wreck. They had a wreck on NASCAR. Car 41. It's probably out of commission for the race. And 34, the Love's car.
That's like from Iowa, watching the end of the 500. Yep, did you just see that wreck? There's a big screen TV right in front of us.
But there is a delay. We were over there today, and I had the phone on because we're just trying to figure out when the heck is this going to start. I thought it started at 2:30, and we're waiting. So we started here. She's like, I got it on the phone, and they're like, they're going to start singing the national anthem real soon. Da, 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 da. And she's like, it's already going. And I listened. So I turned the phone off, and so it's about, I don't know, a minute delay, maybe more. I don't know. We wanted to hear the motor start, but we really couldn't hear that. We got cars driving in front of us too, so a lot of people on that side street. When we first did, it's like these people think they're going to sit out here and watch the race. You can't even. You can see the grandstand.
The cars go around because you can't.
There was a lot of them there after we left.
Yeah, they were still sitting there. So
that's just the experience of.
Because I said we already saw them land and everything. So, right. Good evening. 2 more weeks until southbound. All right, Carly Frank. We'll see you when you get down here.
So we already covered a lot of stuff that's going on in here. Talked about the sand, if you'll be able to get on the beach or you're not. There was some cars today out on the beach, but you're just going to have to itch my back. You got to just watch where you go. There's a lot of the area, like down by Main Street. Those beaches are all closed. You can't get down. Right now, they're closed. But if you went farther down, most of them were the other way. You had to go towards Flagler Beach. And there was a few places there that you could get open. And
Beach looked like their beach.
When we stopped at Ryder X wanted us to take a look at a hotel he had booked. And so I was able to walk behind that hotel next door, which was the Mavericks, which is closed. I was able to walk all the way down, not to the beach, but to their guardrail and look over. Their wall was all up, and I could look both ways. And there was probably 20 or 30 cars pulled long ways facing the water down there. And we've seen a lot of people today. Where did I go? Oh, when I walked down, there was when you got down closer to Ormond Beach, there was a park you could park in, had restrooms and all that. And there that parking lot was open. bad news was there was no way to get to the beach. You had to jump off this, I'd say about 8, 9 foot
The
wall.
deck?
No, the wall. The deck was closed off because there was no steps to go down. So there's a lot of that. They'll have a board across it. If you watch the video tomorrow, it'll show you what typically it looks like. And the reason they have that is because there's nothing on the other side of it. And I'll show you, I'll go up to one and show you there's nothing there. So it seems like from what we're seeing is more of the damage from the water was more towards if you were coming down Main Street to the right side, made a right and heading down towards Ponce Inlet. Seemed like that got it a lot harder than the other direction. Now, what we're hearing, which we didn't do, is over on the other side where Beach is at, like where Indian and all that is, if you go down a little bit farther, all those neighborhoods are condemned. They right before you go across the bridge, that road, which is Beach, but I think it changes to a different name. You go down a little bit farther. Now we haven't gone down there yet, but almost all those houses went completely underwater.
And
All
I
that
don't
water.
think it must have come in the inlet, that little inlet of water that's there. That must have came in and just flooded all those houses. Right
Well, what
there.
they said is they have drainage that goes to the water. Well, when that water all backed up, it came back up that tube and filled up all those neighborhoods. Tubing. They were tubing it.
The inlet, they're called.
It was an outlet.
What's
It
up?
was an outlet going in the outlet, and it became an inlet.
I backed up my sunblock this year. All right, because last year when we saw him out at Cracker Barrel, his face was beet red.
Yes, it's going to be hot, hot, hot. Bring plenty of water,
Sunscreen,
extra clothes, deodorant.
whatever it takes.
Be prepared. So we're going to get down there. We're going to go down and look at Cackleberry. We're going to check out their bathrooms here before it all opens up. We're going to get down there and talk to them. Go down to Cabbage Patch. We're going to see that. Iron Horse, Broken Spoke. Main Street, we'll see if we can get her to talk. She should talk this year because they're doing their 50th. Main Street, Main Street Bar. They had a lot of issues. Oh, Boudreaux. No, Boudreaux's one. The other one's Main Street at the end. It looks like the old gas station at Main Street. That's the one we had trouble talking to anybody.
But the 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
Is okay.
But so Main Street, hopefully they'll talk to us this year. The first year, her dad talked to us. It was really friendly and it was really good. And
He got on the mic and announced that we were there.
Yeah.
There.
And then the next year, she had issue with the city because of 2020. And so we're hearing now it's all back to normal with them, that she's good with the city again. But we hear that. We heard that today that Daytona is really getting, and it's just not for Bike Week. They're also doing it for NASCAR. That these permits that they're for all these people that have vendor booths and all this stuff that's going on, campgrounds that open up just for a short term. The city is just sticking it to them, and it's like, you're bringing in a lot of money, and they're collecting taxes and they're sending that to them. They don't have to come in and get it, and so I don't know why these cities and counties get to where they're so pushy on their permits that they want, $3,000 or $10,000 for a freaking permit to have a vendor booth.
And only let's say this day, and if you want it any longer, then you got to pay double that. And it's like, give them a break, dude. Bike Week is 10 days, 12 days.
You should be glad people are coming and spending a lot of money there. And we heard more about Main Street. We heard some gossip today that we heard a couple things. One, we heard, which we already told you, those businesses closed. There's somebody that's on Facebook that says he knows the owners of Dirty Harry's, and this is it. After this year, he's gone. No, we didn't hear that. We haven't gone. We don't really get to talk to him. We only got to talk to the manager there. We never got to talk to the owner. Yeah, we never talked to the owner there.
We know who it is. We talked to her husband.
Oh, do we?
Yeah.
And so we'll see what's happening
that
there.
Guy across the street that says, "Oh, come see these people. Come see these people."
Oh, okay, that was him.
And yeah, he introduced us to him. It's her husband. But it's funny because all the bars on Main Street are all owned by women. So. But they say they get better.
Well, there's even the Broken Spoke and the Iron Horse are also owned by women.
Yeah. So.
Beaver Bar is owned by a woman. So yeah, what we're hearing is, you see that now also in Myrtle Beach and a lot of other, that they give a better tax break if you're a woman and you run a business. I don't know if it's true or not. That's just weird. But what else we heard about Main Street is that, but this has been going on for a few years. They really want to put a casino downtown in that area of Main Street, and so these companies that want to do this They want a community that is built up. They want stuff to where people's going to be there all year long. Well, that's happening. We just went down Main Street a while ago, yesterday. Other than the first block or two, there's nothing. There's nothing going on. There's the, they're in front of Dirty Harry's. There's a couple motorcycles in front of,
Froggy.
yeah, Froggies, and that's about it. Most of the people are going to, even Peanuts only had 4 or 5 people in there eating. Cruising Cafe, people are going in there because it's right there off the beach. And that's what it is. There's beach people here. People go down to the beach, young
They
kids.
come to Daytona Beach to go to the beach and see the beach and be on the water.
And so they're not coming down the street. So what the other rumor we heard was they're going to take Main Street and shut it completely down and make it a walkway only, kind of like an open mall, where they might put a big old planter down the middle of Main Street so where people can't drive down it, and try to get more trendy businesses to come, kind of like the mall, like you might see in Panama City's got that mall that's kind of like down there. You can still drive down it, but it's more trendy. All the stores and gift shops and restaurants, Margaritaville's there, a whole bunch of different places are there, plus the shops. Big candy stores there. Sugar Bear, whatever it's called. That's there.
Blankie's favorite place.
And so that's there. So that's what we're hearing. Well, see, that's the problem with Main Street here in Daytona is it's dead, except for Bike Week. That's the reason. And so the city of Daytona, and city of Sturgis is like this too. A lot of cities are getting like this. They don't want businesses that only come and open, 3 or 4 weeks a year and that's it, and they're closed the rest of the time. So they're trying to entice them by raising the permit price to say, hey, if you're here all year long, keep your store open, we'll give it to you at this price. And if you're only going to come for, I think now you got to pay for at least 6 months permit. That's the least they'll give you. But they want you to be open. But see, there's a lot of places, George's is open with a cigar store, Chrome Cigars. He's open most of the time. One sexy biker chick, she tries to keep her store open most of the time. But I mean, there's times down here there just isn't anything going on. When it gets to be summer here, June, ain't nobody wanting to come to Florida when it's 100 freaking degrees, the humidity's 130% dew point, and so
Muggy.
and then you really don't want to be here during hurricane season either. You see what happened with all this. Now this is very rare. One of the guy we're staying with right now, he's been here 28 years. He's never seen anything like this in Daytona. He's from New York.
Well, we had said once before, if you go back to some of our old videos, that they said Daytona prided themselves on never experiencing a hurricane. And I can't say that, I guess.
You can see how many people are. Nobody's really coming, so we didn't know if they're watching the races or they're watching us. So that's kind of
listening intently.
Yeah. So that might give you a pretty much idea. So if you're still wanting to come down here and you got an RV or you got a tent, you can always go to Crazy Horse right there on the corner of Jamaica Road. They're never going to turn you away for $21 a day per person. So if you're by yourself and you got a 40-foot motor home, it's only going to cost you $21 to camp there. They have water on site. We're going to check with the dump station. I'm not sure if I don't think he's got one on property, but I don't know if I see the truck today, but I don't know if it was a truck to water the road or if it was a pumping out truck. I think it might have been a pumping out truck. And so you might have somebody coming in there for a price. You'd get pumped out if you're staying the whole week.
For the whole 12 days.
Yeah. So might be something we're going to look at that. We'll let you know on the video if that is possible. But everybody's got a generator there, so don't worry about bringing your generator and pulling it away. And the spots are pretty big. They're not on top of each other, and you pick wherever you want to go. They got an area that they prefer to have tents in, and then they have another area. The rest of the areas are all RVs, and if you want to be away from people or you got a group of people coming, you can put all your trailers, RVs, whatever you got, put them all in a little, like a
wagon train.
Yeah, there you go, wagon train, round up, and they got firewood there you can buy.
They've got a bus that costs, but if you want to go to Main Street and drink and then be brought back.
Is that what it's going to do? That did he say that?
I thought he said it was.
No, I know it's taking them to the racetrack now. I just didn't know if they did that or not. Trying to find anybody's got a bus that you'd like to bring down here to Daytona. You can make a lot of money with it.
We can get 15.
This lady right now was charging $15 per person. She could put 12 people in her party van and haul them to the track and drop them off. That's one way.
And then
And
you come back and get another 12
so if you
people.
had like a school bus or something like that with all the seats in it, you could make at least $10 a person.
Drive back and forth.
Yeah, you probably easily make $4,000 or $5,000 there a day during definitely during Daytona Bike Weekend. But no, Bike Week or the NASCAR, because everybody's going to the track. And so
Electric bikes, people walking.
and he made better with you because then he could offer more parking there, and you might be able to. He might put you on and just pay you instead of charging the people. That way, if you're coming back empty, who cares? You're still getting paid to do it. So, something to think about if anybody's got a bus.
And all that, and we'll probably find a bus now. Somebody will donate him a bus.
Yeah, there you go. Get Katie out there driving the bus. Get his son out there driving the bus.
Yeah, he's got a CDL license. He can
Yeah.
drive it.
Yeah. So that's a little bit of news there. Most of the roads are all open. We didn't go by the Iron Horse or none yet. Did we go by there? Yeah, we go by there. Broken Spoke. We go by.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we came in. We missed our turn, and I couldn't get out.
Well,
I forgot that the exit.
If you had to turn left, and we were thinking we had to turn right to get on the freeway.
Yeah, I couldn't get on, so I had the trailer. So I went all the way down. Broken Spoke was putting their stuff together. Iron Horse was open. Beaver Bar is open. That's about the only bars I've seen that was open right now. But everything else looked the same. Honda dealer's still there. Indian dealer's still there.
How you doing?
So not too bad. Calm before the storm. But yeah, we're hoping
to see a lot of people this next week coming up. Get all those videos out before Bike Week, and then we'll ship it.
Yep, we're going to try to get a hold of the chief tomorrow, Mormon, and then we're trying to get which everybody says is a great guy.
Sure.
Chitwood.
Chitwood,
not the other.
Chitlin.
Yeah.
Ain't eating chitlins. A friend of mine made a lot of money selling pimento cheese sandwiches to NASCAR fans in Daytona. Oh, that's good.
There was a little guy today. These two little kids, their dad were walking around, and they must have went and bought a whole bunch of those little pies that you buy at like a Walmart. We see them at Walmart. They're like little miniature pies. They're about this big in little cardboard boxes. They were walking around. One had cherry, one had apple. I don't know what they were selling them for. But the dad, I didn't know what they were doing.
50 cents, so they sold them for $1.50 or $2, making money.
And because everything was, and we've seen people sitting in front of intersections and stuff, had coolers selling drinks. They weren't selling no alcohol, but selling drinks. It's like they're getting $5.50 for a can of soda, and that's outside, not even inside. So you could definitely make some money. We met a guy that actually, he's from here, but he's got 7 of those 3-wheel bicycles. And he holds people, and it's $10 to $20. He's here during Bike Week too, and we did a little thing.
His number too.
Yeah. He'll even take credit cards, and it wasn't too bad. It was $10. It was worth the $20 to get us. We had to walk. We probably had about a half a mile. She had trouble getting back. We had to stop a couple times, but it would have been worth it.
Because Hooters was away from where we parked. He said, "You want to go down to Hooters?" And I said, "If you let me sit down, once we get down there." When we get down there, there's no place to sit.
I found good share.
So Mike Campbell said he's coming down. So
Okay.
He's up in St. Augustine's. What's that? I don't see the words. It says Patine, whoever it is. Jaria. NINJARIDAZ.
I can't pronounce it. Hi.
Say Patine.
Patine to the nation. And so yeah, it's not too bad. Like I say, it's gonna get hot. Where we're at right now, we don't have. I don't know if we got enough voltage to run an air conditioner or not. We're trying to get into our other campground that we're going to be there for 4 or 5 days, and then we move to another private lot for a few days. And one has electric, and the other one we're trying to figure out. We won't know till Monday what their electric situation is. They only got 15 amp. You can't run an air. So if it's going to be in the 90s. What's nice is at night it is cooling down. Right now, when I'm looking at the forecast for next week, and it's looking at in the high 90s, or not high 90s, low 90s. It's going to still drop into the 60s at night, and so it's been nice at night. So we left one side of the trailer windows open if the sun wasn't on. It'll probably be cold tonight when we get back. And
so we have Mr. Comey.
Yeah,
It's blanky. So Harley One Forever says last year at the Speedway during Bike Week, water and Gatorade was $5.
So they're going up 50 cents. So yeah, so I don't know, but we'll see how it all goes, and we'll see the vendors that are coming in, and almost everybody we've talked to, they're all coming. We don't know anybody that's not showing up for the rally this year. So what we're gonna do a little different on vendors this year. We're not going to pound you with videos a whole day of just going around looking at vendors anymore.
To show you where they're located.
Well, I'm not even sure we're going to show you all that. We'll stop at all the different places where the vendors are at. We'll kind of pan the camera around. You can see where they're at. You can always contact us if you are looking for somebody that we normally give shout outs for. We'll know where they're all at. If somebody I may still be able to, because I heard that Boonville, I think they're supposed to have like 40 or 50 vendors on their lot.
They did last year too.
I don't think they had that many. And so we'll see what they all have going on. Because there's a lot of stuff now. We did hear No Name Bar, as of right now, is not open. That's where they do the pudding wrestling. I wanted to go there. Not going to happen.
They're closed due to
discrepancy in the ownership of the property. That's all we know. They've been closed for about almost a year, I think. Must have closed right after.
Bike Week last year.
Yeah.
Because I called down there, remember? They said, well, it depends on how many people show up. If they'll have the pudding wrestling. If they got enough girls that'll do it, then they do it. If there's not, then they don't.
Like, I ain't going all that way to find out if you are or if you ain't. So.
It was really hot and had to get hydrated.
That's why I paid the $5 and you needed the water. So always good to throw those things in your side bags. If you've got if you're staying in a hotel and you've got a little refrigerator that's got a little freezer in it, the best thing to do is throw a couple bottles in there and freeze them.
Yeah.
And then you throw those in your box, and usually halfway through the day, they're going to be melted. And then you still got some cool water to drink.
Oh, look at who's on.
Who's on? Can't see it.
And that's not.
Huh?
Yep. Open on Main Street. Yep.
Well, you seen the open sign the other day when we
So were you there too, or not? Because we're here.
We're in Hooligans.
Yeah. Up on by
dealership. At that one. They got a bunch of Hooligans here in town. They got at least 3.
Stop by sometime this week, Monday or Tuesday, maybe, I don't know. Got a lot of things to do Monday. I'm trying to get all this stuff lined up. I hate that when I call. Oh no, we're too busy. Come back later. Come back in a couple days. Come back in a couple days. Come back in a couple days. Okay, bye, quick start. Oh, now we're too busy. Can't come.
So this year we're trying to set up appointments. We're like, here we are. Give us the time to talk to us, and we'll put you on the calendar, and we'll be there. If you're like, I don't know, then you're not, just like Daytona Police. I'm figuring we're probably not going to talk to them this year anyway because they're on the TV. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. But we found out it is an hour different from what we watch when we're at home. So I'm thinking it's not live.
Not what we're watching.
Yep.
Yes, that'd be great. Thank you.
And so it's not live after all. And we were going to go around looking for them last night, but
I think it's live here because we watched it, and
it starts here at 9, and at home we watch it at 8. So it would actually be 10 o'clock here when we watch it at 8.
Yeah. Anyway, because we've seen it, and somebody will say, "Oh, I saw you guys on TV. I came up here to get them out of trouble or pick them up or whatever." So I don't know. It's live here, but not live where we're
see. We thought this weekend we'd have time to try to see if we could track them down, but that didn't happen. And mostly, Friday we were just tired. It was a long day. We went by Fair and Exchange, their headquarters office in Jacksonville.
Thank you.
And we checked that all out. So that was pretty neat. We got a video to show you on that. So that'll be coming out hopefully next week too. The next 2 weeks, one out before the show starts. And so we're looking around, figuring out what we're going to do. And so it looks like hopefully everything will fall into place and we'll be able to bang all this stuff out. And then we'll pretty much, when the rally starts, we'll be just talking about rally stuff. And then showing you, we're probably still going to go back and show you highlights of what we did the day before. We'll talk about probably the video that we'll wrap up. Like the video that would come out tonight, we'll talk also at the end. We'll tell you, hey, here's what we're doing tomorrow. Here's where we're going to be. And then we'll put a video out the next day showing you the things we did do. And here's where we're going to be tomorrow. And here's what's going on. And unless we get some really good stuff happen, and things may get pushed back. It's like Willie's chopper show. You're not going to see that till it's over. It's just I'll probably do a live from there.
We might tell you that it's going on, and that's where we'll be, so you can go to it if you want to, so you don't miss it.
But the video there I try to do, that's actually, I didn't look today, we're about 1,000 views away from breaking 200,000 views on our Willie Tropical Chopper Show last year. It is unbelievable. I would have never, it just keeps going. Every month I look at it, it's like, oh, 20,000 people watch your video. Oh, 30,000 watching it. It just keep watching it. I had an excellent thumbnail on it. Go back and look at that video. I couldn't have picked a better couple to put on the thumbnail, and I just kind of caught them at a minute when they were pulling out. And I'm like, I'm going to have to really look this year to find, I'm going to have to start doing that. I'm going to have to start looking for that perfect
I'm
thumbnail.
going to have to get my camera, take it around my neck. Look at my favorite thing to do, but I didn't get a lot of videos. A lot of pictures as much as I did the very first year.
So, and then we'll throw them with the girls and all that. And we'll have some stuff for Patreon. We're going to do the wet t-shirts down at Dirty Harry's. We'll do a couple of those down there. I think they're going to have one over at Cackleberry. We'll be over there. Oh, we're going to try to go Saturday night. I think it's the first Saturday night is Confederate Railroad. I'd like to see them. And they're actually coming on pretty early. It's like 7 to 9 or 7 to 8:30 or something. It's like, I can't believe I've never seen Confederate Railroad. Love to see it. So we might be doing that Saturday night as soon as we got to get our wristbands and see how that all works out. We got to go over there this week or next week and check that all out. And a Cabbage Patch, we'll probably go over and do a little bit of filming of the slaw wrestling. And we're going to find out if they sell that old slaw and how much it sells for. Maybe we can get some free bags and we'll give them away. How would you guys like to sign up for slaw?
I'm going to have to carry it around and say, no, thank you.
Somebody's buying their crap. I would
go get some sand and say it's the sand that whoever just retired.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You
got $1 million? We could get I should go look for that hotel. I should put that in there.
Was it
because
here or was it on the other side?
I don't know where. Somewhere in Florida. I'm not a big Tom Brady fan, so I'm not quite sure. But somebody's made hundreds of thousands of dollars selling the sand they think he stood in.
When he announced his retirement. Nicholas is on. Does Paul from Orange County Choppers come down?
No, they're actually doing during this same time. Birch Barracuda and OC Choppers is having a bike week 2, which I don't know why they do that. I hate when people do that. You can go the very next weekend and have one because there's nothing going on for the whole next 30 days after Daytona. Ain't nothing going on.
I told you what.
I know, but it's beside the point. It would be a lot easier. But they're trying to get people to come from, you're already coming down here. Why not ride over?
It's only this wide. It takes you like hour.
But it's still, that's a long day ride. To go over there, hang out all day and ride back. People in Florida aren't the nicest of drivers. There's people doing, we had some guy passing us last night on the shoulder. We're in the very far right lane, the slowest lane to go on. And I'm doing the speed limit, 70 miles an hour. And I see the guy coming up and I'm like, I'm not slowing down, screw this guy. And there he's on the side of the road. He got like a BMW or something, flew past us. Eventually, pretty much I was caught up with him to about 75. I got up to about 75. And then finally I looked up and he was gone. I don't know what he did. But I mean, then we had another car darting through the traffic. It's, well, you get any people here, people doing 40 or 50 miles an hour, which I guess are the old people. And you got other people out here doing 90 miles an hour. So the highways out here are very dangerous. So be careful, and especially at night. That's one of my big things. I'm not a big night rider. If we're in town, it's one thing. You got a little bit more time to react. But if you're doing 75, 80 miles an hour on your motorcycle down the 4, and some guy comes in your lane, ask her, she was doing 35 and somebody came in her lane and took her out. So it's just one of the things I always worry about when we travel long distance. That's why we like to stay as close as possible to what's going on. That way
we can stay a little bit later. Yeah. Don't have to worry about driving back at night. I don't think we're going to hit any animals unless you're right over now.
A squirrel ran in front of the truck the other day, and Bird was out there this morning when we get out of the way.
Big old bird. It was so funny. We were waiting for the flyover, and it looked like vultures circling the speedway, all the different little planes with their banners behind them and everything, and the Goodyear blimp. And there must have been a dozen of them. So they're all circling and circling. I said it looks like a bunch of vultures looking for their prey.
So, but I mean, it looked like they said they had 100, 200,000 people there today. I guess it's still going on.
Yep.
It says a green, white, checkered flag. Lap are we on? I think
Yeah, it doesn't say
doesn't
yet.
say yet. Yeah, so getting ready to start them again.
There they go. They must have had another accident. So, New England biker says my cousin moved there.
2 laps to go. We're coming down to the home stretch. That's what I hated when you get a caution flag and they go across the track under a caution. That ain't no good for
A
racing.
year ago, and it's been hit twice. Holy cow!
So,
Number 8,
those-
Bush. Oh, there he is. He's second, first. He said he was going to win this
fourth. He's coming up. Oh, he's back to third. He's back. It's Larson's number 1. Bell. Oh, major tie up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9-car pileup. Number 1 car, number 36, number 42. What a major contest. You don't even have to watch it. We're just telling you what's going on. And,
commentators.
let's see. Let's take the cars out at the end. I can't see. Yeah, we want to show you all the recap of when people's cars hit the wall and stuff. Then they go back and show the owners of the cars. 24. I don't know what company that has that one. Oh, there's the Carvana car. It's
84.
it could probably still race.
Smoking. He can probably make it around another time.
It's Pro Bass Pro Shop number 3. It's out. So
another caution flag. You got one
Yep.
lap to go.
yeah, let's
So
see.
who did it?
Let's see. Where's it at? Where did it take out? There it is. It was
The Bass Pro Shop.
Bass Pro Shop.
He's the guy that started it all.
Yeah. Boom, and he slid back in the center of the track, hit the wall, went from the inside grass all the way back to the wall. Took out everybody in the back. And that car there's going back. Number 8 car is going backwards. That was like Dale Earnhardt car, number 8. Dale Earnhardt still race?
I don't know. Steven, he said you both look great. You should have good weather. That's what we're hoping.
Yeah, hot. They say the weather's down here lately. They said the guy we're staying with in Port Orange says he hasn't really had any rain for the last 30 days. Hopefully it'll keep on going for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We won't have no rain like we did last year.
Yeah, that second half was kind of stunk.
They still keep showing the replay of this.
I know.
Probably going to end up bringing over. They're going to win this over a caution because they said there was only 2 laps left, so they're going to go back around at least twice. They're not going to get this cleaned up. It should make them stop altogether. Start the race again. Still keep showing each car. I guess they got cameras in each
On the
one
front
of
and
them.
the back, and then on them, and they did that. There was another little fender bender earlier, and they kept showing it over and over and over from the back view, from the front view of the other guy, from Land's view. Like, oh my gosh.
They want to keep you entertained while they're cleaning up the track. Now we're going to see another car. Austin Cindric. Ooh. Yeah, he didn't even know nothing. Next thing you know, he was going backwards, hitting the wall. There's a scary thing, hitting 200 miles an hour.
Ooh. Anyway, Steven says, my son, lives in Tampa, almost 90, 75 here tomorrow. There you go. Yeah, it's supposed to get each day. Today was supposed to be in the mid 70s.
Tomorrow 80s.
Well, yeah, tomorrow 80s, and then like
By
Wednesday,
Thursday,
Friday,
it's Thursday or Friday.
90s.
Supposed to get up in the 90s. Yeah, so they haven't had. They'll be breaking record. If we hit 91 on Saturday or Friday, that will be an all-time hot day here.
They said usually don't get in the 90s here until 1st of April. So it's pretty hot. Hot.
Cover's car. I don't know
Are
if
you
he's
gonna stay
leaving.
till the race is over, or are you gonna be done?
I don't know how much time we've been.
An hour.
I don't know. Maybe we'll wait a few minutes and see. Anybody else ask any
Don't
questions?
forget to give us a thumbs up if you're on before you leave.
Yep, because we didn't put no commercials on this one. We dropped down to 45 people. We had more than that before.
50.
And I need to do a GoFundMe page. Help me buy my air conditioner furnace for my garage.
We have most of the money, but not all of it.
or watch a crap load of my videos. We're gonna come out with some new T-shirts here soon. Probably after Daytona. I'll have this whole month doing stuff. We're gonna put a new one on our website, new designs, things like that. So we're gonna change that up a little bit. We got a couple more videos we've got planned for products. One is one I know you all need, and just haven't got a chance to do it. I got another one we already did, but we haven't finished it. I haven't made it yet, so we still gotta get that going yet. So some things like that to kind of help us out. If you guys want to help the channel,
products.
Got a couple of vendors looking to maybe sponsor us for different rallies, so that's kind of nice. We're not looking to get rich off of this. We're just looking to give you guys great information. We have a lot of fun doing this. We really enjoy giving out good information. Love talking. Yep, love talking to all the vendors. I like talking to people like Shelly Rossmeyer and Teddy Morris and 160 Biking Chick. All these people are just great people that we've met through our channel, and to give you guys this great information. And we think we do a good job of helping you guys out. But we got to get something to help with our channel when we're not busy. We don't have, and when we don't have something going on. So that's what the garage is for. We've actually talked to a couple vendors already about our veteran bikes that we're really thinking about doing. And so once we get home in August, maybe by the time we get to November or December, I'll have a veteran bike to start working on and show you guys, and you guys will be able to put some input in what we do to it, things like that. And we're going to be giving it, we've got a couple organizations, veteran organizations already set up to work with. And so that'd be kind of neat to do. That'd be something different from what we do now. Actually talked to Amsoil Adam. I said, I don't really know much about, I rebuilt car motors and lawnmower engines and all kinds of different things like that, but I just never tore a motorcycle engine apart, transmission or anything. So he said maybe after all this, I get my garage all set up, he'd come out and
you do a great job.
He'd come out and help me tear a motor apart and do a rebuild on one and do a video on us together doing it. And that'd be neat. And get my hands dirty and get used to. So I think once I've done it, I wouldn't have a problem doing it. I'm also going to be going to DynoJet in Las Vegas. They've offered to give me some free training on dynoing bikes and all that kind of stuff. It'd be kind of neat. Learn a little bit more about that. I know a lot of stuff about cars. I just never really learned much about a motorcycle. You know, I can put, like I said, I can hook up a stereo. I can do lights. I can do all that junk. I can do just about anything on a motorcycle other than I've never changed a tire. But I mean, I know how to change a car tire and a lawnmower tire and any other kind with spoons and everything. So probably could change a motorcycle tire.
How many bicycle tires have you changed?
Too many. Motorcycle is just like a big bicycle. Just need bigger tools.
There you go.
And so.
Every folks says don't go until the race is over. You'd rather hear our commentary.
We've got a commercial now.
It's almost 2,000 views.
It is my shopping. It's just not quite a year yet. It's Willie's Tropical Shopper Show by us. It's got a guy with no shirt on and jeans, and it's got king and queen seat chopper, old school chopper. There might not even been a Harley. I'm not even sure what kind of bike it was. And she's on the back in shorts, and it just looks like an old school biker.
Almost like from the 70s.
Yeah, but they're not. But they look like that. They probably weren't even alive in the 70s. But it was, I think the thumbnail is what got most people to look at it. And, but yeah, like I say, when I looked at it 2 days ago, it was 197,000 views. And we're close to, I figured, I put it on my Facebook pages and told everybody, hey, check on this. Pass it around. It'd be a real milestone for us to have 200,000 views. We've never got a video that high. I've gotten 160 and plus, but I've never broke 200,000. So that'd be really neat to do. We've got over 6.5 million views on our channel. We passed up a lot of people. I was just looking at that two-lane change today. Somebody was talking about them the other day in California, and I looked at them and they're like, man, they don't have very many videos out for I think they only got like 300 and something videos. We're pushing close to 1,000 that we've got out. I think they're 900
every day.
And but I think they're full time in that too. She didn't know who they were, so I put the video on this morning and showed them they were in their studio. It almost looks like these 3 or 4 guys do that full time. Once again, it's not a channel I watch. I try to keep up with most YouTube motorcycle people just to kind of see what everybody's doing, and they all do the same to us. It's like the Monkey Man. There's things he's commented on that I know he had to have watched our channel. He's not talking about us. He's just commenting on something that we've commented on. And it's happened too many times to know that he doesn't subscribe to our channel. I think I subscribe to him, which is fine. You know, nobody has to. No. We got Prime Cut Pro and Awesome Documentary. I got the biggest one, the 900, almost a million subscribers, a million subscribers is Prime Cut Pro, and they watch our channel. Wasn't for us, they wouldn't be doing motorcycle videos. And he's a great guy. Kelly's a great guy, and we love meeting them. We'll see them. They'll be coming down here. Well, they're actually in Florida anyway. They're from Tampa. So we meet a lot of great YouTubers out here. There's a lot of great ones out here. And we don't mind promoting people and helping them out either. And because there is, just like the Monkey Man, he's not the same as me. Two Lane changes the same as me. Everybody's different. And it's best to, a lot of times, a lot of people tried this year in Sturgis to try to imitate what we do. And it's like, it's very hard to do what we do. Your own thing. Whatever your own thing is, do it. If it's riding around talking in your helmet about rides, then do that. If you want to talk to vendors and stuff like we do, then go out and do that. But try to come up with something that's your own style of how you do it. That way you benefit more from it. And people don't look at you and say, well, you're kind of like those guys over there. They're already doing it. They've been doing it for a long time. And the advantage is we don't really need the money. We could sit home right now and be very comfortable and never travel again, and we'd be all right the rest of our life. Could ride our motorcycle, go to a few rallies,
We'll see you soon.
do a rally, different rally every year, and we would be just fine. Where a lot of you, it's like if this 2-lane change, which like I said, I don't watch their channel. I've clicked on it off and on, but I don't really watch. I don't know much about them. If they, I think the Monkey Man said the other day, he went on a ride with me someplace. I thought they were a lot bigger than they were. They only got like 40,000 subscribers. I thought they were like 100 or something thousand. And somebody was telling us about them, and that's what made me click back on them and see. That's something me and Art, when I was trying to get Art to retire, my old buddy Art, we wanted to do that. I was going to go over to California. We do a bunch of rides, me and him together, because we know California like the back of our hand for riding and great places to go. And I'm all about, it's about the ride, but it's about where you stop at. And that's what I'm all about. I'm all about, if I'm going to do an adventure ride, it's just not a challenge to ride from here to Washington, D.C. or right here to Milwaukee. I want a ride like Route 66. It would probably take me at least a month to 3 months to ride Route 66. Why? Because I want to stop at all those little neat little places there, because if I'm going to do that, I want to be, that's the advantage of a motorcycle. You can stop anywhere. We've stopped on the US 1 on a major, we parked the bike in the gutter of the road to get off and watch baby seals get born, and see deer and see hundreds of elks. Yeah, and all this stuff. We did that, and there's a waterfall there. It's not much of a waterfall. It's actually, somebody said it's a pipe, but it's still a waterfall. It's coming down rocks right outside of Deadwood. No, it's between Deadwood and the other town. But it's hard. It's coming down the other side of the road. And somebody said, "Oh, that's a spring feed." Well, most of the waterfalls that are in Deadwood are in Sturgis. Most of them are coming from a stream or from a spring, underground spring. That's why they're so freaking cold. So it doesn't make a difference. It's a waterfall. It's coming down rocks. Well, we stopped on the side of the road to get that shot to show you that, hey, there is one more here that you may not know about. Might be worth you checking it out. So that's, yeah. So those are the kind of things that we like to give to you guys to help you out, give you something else to do. Because everybody always says that, we want to do a ride. We want to go here. We want to go there. Well, a lot of this, there's so much that everybody, like somebody posted something on Facebook today on the Daytona page and said he gave a list. I don't know who this guy is. Must have put 100 different things to do in Daytona. And he had No Name Bar down too. And it's closed, dude. I wrote it on there. Hey, I think that's closed. But I mean, I don't know where he got this list at. But I mean, and then of course, there's probably another 100 comments of somebody writing ones that he didn't write down. And so what we try to do is try to find the neat things. Like is this where they got the treehouse at too? The treehouse bar.
Yeah, that's in New Smyrna.
A lot of people say it's not worth going to, but it's just neat to say, hey, there's a bar that's up in a tree. And we didn't make it to it last year. I don't know if we'll make it this year or not. We'll have to see how it goes. Last year with the rain, I'm not going any farther than I have to in the rain on the bike. If we're traveling, it's one thing. But if I'm here at a rally, I'm not getting on the freaking bike with a rain suit just to go downtown on Main Street and sit. You know, I ain't that determined to be at a rally. We'll take the truck out and park and walk into it. Use an umbrella. I'm not looking. You know, if you're one of the guys that want to do that, that's great. Good power to you. Me, I'm not. Because hey, we've been in rainstorms, hail.
Yeah.
I've rode in snow. She hasn't. But you know, when we're traveling, you got to do what you got to do, and that's okay. But if it's something like here in Daytona, you know, if I'm sitting at the camper and it's pouring down rain in the morning, I'm not jumping on the bike and saying, "Let's go to destination Daytona." We'll jump in the truck and drive it.
It was funny because I think when we went, we were on Main Street and they said rain was coming. So I don't know, however we got to destination Daytona, it had just finished pouring down rain. We didn't get hit any. And then later on, we heard that next day that it was pouring down rain on Main Street that night. So we somehow we missed it. Thank goodness. But we
Did get soaked once last year.
yeah, that was it going out to Castleberry.
Yeah, coming back out.
It went forever.
Yeah. I don't know. He probably got mad. It's Moto.
Yep,
And we found out today by talking to the guy at Crazy Horse that they have a designated area that you guys can do stunts and all that at.
And he might be. That's who they.
No, I thought you guys were just freelance and all that, but they said it's a vendor that's there. He's got a big area that he ropes off where you guys do all your stunts at, and is that where you do it at?
Raining, not too much. Come on to the electric ride area. That's his bike.
You should bring that down here. Come down and visit your son
Yeah.
for a day or two on your bike, and then come on over here and check out Daytona. Get that old bike on there and get a ride on it.
There you go. Put some miles on it, huh? There you go.
Be a nice ride for you, Steven.
Oh, have they started it back yet? Green,
No.
white checker. Here we're going to go. This is the last lap. We'll see who wins the race.
No, they haven't started it yet. The Kroger's car, they have 210 laps a day, most of all time. That don't make any sense. It says 210 laps a day, most of all time. Daytona 500.
I mean, unless that's the most they went before they had to.
I don't know. I thought you still
There they
race.
go.
I thought you still race under the yellow.
No. They stop it. There
Uh,
they go. There they go. There they go. Green flags up.
and they're bumper to bumper. Still got a lot of cars out
Oh,
there
it
still.
still says 2 laps to go.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That must be what they do is they stop the
They must
race. So
not have been
10
all the
laps.
way around.
Yeah, so 12 laps. Cal Brush is number 3. It's third. It's still about everybody's still about the same amount of people are still. And
Bush is 50.
yeah, he's fell back. You still got time. You want to push that last lap.
20, 22, and
So Larson's number 1, then that Logando, then Bell. Now Bush came up. It's Steinhaus is now number 1. That's car 47.
oh, Bush went back again to
Yeah, you're gonna have that as you go around the turns. It's that straightaway where you're gonna slam it to the pedal to the metal, make it go. Never got to race NASCAR. Dan Kite has actually got a stock car
Yeah,
now.
he
He's
did.
racing. It kind of looks like a. Go to his Facebook page, you can see it. He's got a car he's been racing. Oh, another wreck!
Are you kidding me?
Oh, another! Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
That's the
8.
other half.
8 more cars are down. But the leaders are still going. Leaders are still going.
Wiping them out one by one.
It's gonna be down to just 4 guys to be racing soon.
Is Kyle Busch still one of them?
Yeah, he's number 4.
Oh my gosh! And they're going to start at 2 laps to go
There
again.
you go.
Exciting! I'll check this out. Yeah.
That's what the guy told us today that's in charge of everything down there. He told us that. We've never gone to the flea market during the rally. And we keep saying we're going to. But last year we went out to the one that's out there where they do the burning bike. We went there and filmed that. That was kind of neat. They had a lot of neat junk to sell and stuff like that. So
There's going to be down to 2 bikes or 2 bikes. 2
So,
2 cars
so
left.
is there anybody on tonight that's from Daytona that follows NASCAR? What, did he win?
Oh,
Yeah.
I guess he did.
Steinhaus won driving the Kroger car. He won. He came up. He wasn't the leader to start with, so they gave him the win. So there you go, Steinhaus, the winner of Daytona 500.
You read them. Says, hey guys, Jerry's on. How you doing, Jerry? Talked to Ryder X today, but he's not on tonight unless he's just not coming.
Yeah.
So
Want to know
anyway,
about his hotel he was staying in? He's staying in the Lousy Motel. Is that what it's called? Lousy Motel?
Yeah.
What's that called?
Lotus.
Lotus Hotel. I thought it was the Lousy. It was a weird hotel. It was like
It was an L shape.
well, it wasn't even an L. It was like a U, like a square U. Like it was like a square without one end on it. And then it had the office. When I pulled in, I'm like, I'm just gonna look around. Ain't no looking around. You're in the parking lot. It's 2-story. It's a whole white building. Looked like something I built back in the 50s, 60s maybe. Pictures made it look like not too bad, but it's definitely an older hotel. But there's not a lot of parking. A lot of the hotels along there have like underground parking, or they have parking. You pull through a thing and you kind of park around the back of the building. But here they didn't have anything, so I don't know if I didn't look across the street. They're right next door to the Maverick, which is closed down. So if you book the Maverick Hotel, you can get no room.
That's good, Jerry.
No, I think we're done. All right.
Thank you. Yes, we're adios.
Well, she probably gets off now or something. They probably figure it's the end of the race. Everybody
People
needs to
said
get
get
out.
up and leave. Yes, the flea market.
Get up.
And
Post it.
there you go. Is a great guy, always promoting YouTube motorcycle comments.
Yep. He won't go on channel level. Yeah, no, but we just got free access at the campground the whole week. So it's really great, and he helps us out all the time too. It's just another great person that we deal with in our YouTube world, and really helpful and helps us out all the time. We're trying to get in there and stay there this week, but he only has permits during the rallies or during the bike weeks and also during Daytona. But other than that, he can't have campers there. So he would have
to be down here and say, oh, you always want to say bike week, and it's not. It's NASCAR or whatever. And we're keep saying bike week, but it's not bike week. Not yet.
That's everybody says, what, you're here for NASCAR? Or, no, we're here for bike week. Well, is that next week? No, it's 2 weeks from now.
What are you doing now?
I'm looking around.
Checking stuff out.
Well, we were here last year during the race too, but we just kind of didn't really, we kind of stayed away from the track. Like today, you don't want to be nowhere near. We were on the backside. We didn't go nowhere down. But I mean, the rest of the town, there's nobody here because they're all at the racetrack or they're in a bar watching the race or whatever the case is. So it was kind of nice driving around. There was quite a few people on the beach. I'll have that video. I don't know when I'm putting that video on, but there was a lot of people on the beach. But some of the beaches are wide open. Some of them are open, but you can't get to it. So they're not totally destroyed like everybody kind of made them sound that you couldn't walk from one end. You could probably go to St. Augustine's and go out on the shore, and you can walk all the way down here to St. Augustine's from St. Augustine's. And not have, there's no place that's actually says you can't walk. Now, we didn't go to that whole distance, but I mean, as I've stopped and looked out at the beach, even down at Flagler Beach, there's a lot of places you can't get down.
That's where we're at right now. You want to know if we went by Rossmeyer's?
We're here now?
Yeah, we're at the Hooligans, and then Rossmeyer's as well.
Behind it.
Teddy Morris.
Yeah.
Daytona.
So we're going to be meeting with Teddy Morris in about 2 weeks. We get to talk to him. I think I'm really excited about meeting him. If you guys go on his Facebook page, he does a lot of the rides and stuff. He's here and involved in it. And he is actually CEO of the Ed Morris Corporation. So his grandpa originally started it. His dad ran it. His dad's retired. Now he's taken over. So, but we stopped at the Cowboys over there in Texas. There's 3 or 4 Cowboys. He bought all of them up back in October. And we talked to them, and they're very happy with him. He's not making a lot of waves or anything like that with him. They've only seen him a few times. Yeah, the one store we were in was a cool store, and they want to totally remodel it. And I'm like, nice. So probably Destination Daytona in a year from now is not going to look at all like it does today. It's going to be totally. He wants us, that's the nice thing about bringing in people like this. Black Hills Harley, I'm really excited about too, because that owner owns NASCARs. He owns racetracks. It's going to be really neat this coming up year in Sturgis. I'm excited about that. But see, what you're getting is you're getting new money. You're getting somebody coming in here to Rossmeyer's. Not saying Rossmeyer's has no money, but Bruce Rossmeyer, which is the one that started all this and built it to where out here at Destination Daytona, it was his dream. not necessarily saying it was necessarily the kids' dream. Now the kids love working there, and they're great people, and we love them too. But they wanted to get rid of the dealership. It was just too much going on with the dealership, the hotel, the condos, all the property here, the rental places over here, the people that have shops here and stuff. That's they do all that through. That's all owned. This ground I think is owned by Ross Myers.
Truck stop is it?
Yeah, the truck stop's the only thing that's on here that's not owned by them. Everything else they own. They I don't know if they built the buildings here or not, but they own the property.
Well, I think they bought swampland, so I'm sure this was,
Yeah.
there wasn't much here when they bought it originally.
So pretty exciting. And so I'm only looking at good things. The only thing we want to find out is how long Shelley Rossmeyer and them will be involved with the store. I assumed it was going to be like just like a Black Hills Harley. They're there for a minimum of 4 years. The owner, Al's the last owner there. He's there for 4 years, making sure it stays running the way it has. The other two owners left. They took their money and ran. So he's the only one we ever dealt with anyway. So we already knew Al from being Black Hills Harley
She
anyway.
might have been silent
So
about it or
we're
something.
hoping Shelley Rossmeyer and her sister and stuff, brother, are still going to stay here for the 4 years at least and run Destination. Well, it's still Destination Daytona. So we're kind of waiting to see where that's at. So we'll know a little bit more about that when we meet with Shelley probably this week coming up, and talk to her and get her low down about the store and what's going on. And so pretty excited. I feel better now than I did. Both these dealerships, that I think we're going to see them grow, and I think we're not going to necessarily see them like we know a group of people that have bought a lot of dealers up, and they made them all exactly the same, high pressure sales, all this stuff like that. And our dealers that we have in the Las Vegas area, there's one in Utah, one in South Carolina they own. This guy which when I first seen it, I thought, this is nuts. He lets each dealership run like they whatever they do, whatever the management decides to do. They have one general manager that looks over all the stores, but one store you go in, you can buy a bike at manufacturer price. Other store ups the price. This store might discount the price. And they're all different on what they do. They have different labor rates and different things like that. So, which I thought about where, like, if you go to Vegas, they've got 3 stores in the Las Vegas area, and you might go to one and say, I don't like the way these guys deal with me. And then you go to this other one, it's like, well, these guys are really cool. I like the way they deal with me. And they're really friendly and all this. Well, they're really owned by the same people. But you end up finding out that it's
I didn't
No.
know that.
no, Full Throttle is always, yeah. Michael will not announce anything till about 30 days before Sturgis. He always does that. I could probably tell you who he's going to have. He's going to have Clint Ford there. He's going to have Jackal's going to play on Thursday night. He's going to end up getting somebody like, what's the guy from Poison? Is that the guy that had cancer?
Oh, yeah, Brett Michaels.
Brett Michaels is probably going to, either Brett Michaels or what's the other guy that he always brings in? I can't think of who it is. Those seem to be the same ones he brings in all the time. He'll bring somebody country, Travis Tritt or somebody he'll bring in like that. And that's pretty much what they do. And that's just Michael. He's looking for the cheap deal, and I think that's what he waits for. He waits till a month or two before the venue to find out who ain't working and say, okay, dude, I'll give you X amount of dollars if you want to come out to Sturgis and play. And so they're figuring, well, he ain't making any money. Let's go do this job. I think that's what he does.
Hi, Randall. I hope everything's okay with you and your family.
But we don't know about the Full Throttle because we talked to Michael, but he doesn't really want to do stuff on camera. He wants to be paid. If he ain't making money, it's like it's a TV show. It's on Quest. It's all reruns. Don't let anybody tell you it's a new show. And were they out there filming? There was nobody out there filming last year. We were, but nobody else was filming out there. So he's trying to get a new contract with somebody to pay him for the show.
I don't know the name of the dealership.
Which
the
one?
In South Carolina.
That they bought.
That Joe owns.
Yeah.
So, okay,
There can't be that many in
Jeffrey,
South Carolina.
have a good night, and we'll catch you later. Are you coming down to Daytona? I don't know if we saw you in Daytona. Myrtle Beach is where we saw you last year. I guess we'll see you in Myrtle Beach then. Still hanging on. Okay, well, still my prayers.
So it's we really like this, and hopefully we give you guys some really good information. We try to get the breaking news. Some people always say that. How do you guys find out all this stuff? I don't know.
A lot of times you guys will call us and say, hey, did you hear? Blah, 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 blah. It's like,
Well, it's,
really? And then we go try to check it
it's
out.
like when Legends sold. It was somebody very important came to us and told us about Legends. And I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. He was even going to tell me all kinds of more information about it. I'm like, no, 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 no. Don't tell me that, because I said, I wouldn't want this guy to be found out who gave us this information. And we don't do that. We don't throw people under the bus that feed us information. We have a lot of people feed us information. Everything from dealers to people that are tied in with Harley Davidson, people that are tied in with Daytona, Sturgis, all the different stuff. We have a lot of people that for some reason they've seen us, and I guess they realize that which is a lot of times I tell people that, no, I really don't want to know about this. Well, let me tell you about this. And it's like, we don't really want to know that. It's like bad things that might happen at a rally. You know, somebody gets killed in a bar or something. Or last year, Shelley Rossmeyer had one of her salesmen died. And we could have went big with that. And we didn't. And because what difference does it make? One of her salesmen died on the way coming in, and ended up good that we didn't do that, because actually the guy also worked at Black Hills Harley during the rally too. And what we look at is our relationship with them. That's more important to us than a big story coming out right now about something. And so if it's something, if somebody sells, I don't mind talking about that. Black Hills Harley, if they're sold now, and Ross Myers, when they sold, I don't mind bringing out that information. Maybe they don't necessarily want it to come out that fast. That's the price you pay. Once you kind of let people know what's going on, you know.
I don't know.
But
I'd have to text Tony. There's a bunch of them in
South
Carolina.
Is it really?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's Georgia, North Carolina.
Well, look, I guess they're not under a group name, are they?
No.
And because they were actually down here, our store in Red Rock was actually down here. They all belong to I don't know if it was the Orange Group or something like that. And but we'll find out what it is, and we'll let you guys know what the name of the store is. We're going to end up starting to do a playlist that's going to be preferred dealers that we recommend, because people always ask that, who do you recommend and who do you don't? We don't really necessarily want to badmouth Harley Davidson on everything. When they're selling stores and doing stupid things, I'll talk about it, but I don't really prefer to go after some of these dealerships. So in our case, what we've decided to do is just not recommend them. And some of you may have already seen that on some of our videos, because we'll tell you, we're not going in this dealership. We have an issue with them, and we're not going in. They whatever their issue is with us, it's easier for me to say, don't Patreon them. Don't Patreon them. And yeah, that's it. And that way if you want to go in there and buy something from them, it's great. If you don't, we don't care. And so but you can kind of see some of these dealers just like the vendors that are on there. When you start looking at some of these vendors, these lots that have vendors on them, dealerships, and they're getting less and less vendors on the lot, that should tell you something right there. You shouldn't have to think, you shouldn't even have to ask me if that's somebody we recommend or not.
Where all the vendors went that used to be on that dealer lot.
And you wonder why. Or it's all their junk that they're selling out there. They're not, they're not a big variety anymore of anybody out there. And we hear it from the vendors and stuff, the same thing, that they have different people that run these lots, because they're not all the same. If you go to Mike's Blues and Barbecue, that's actually the same guy that puts on Panama City Rally, is actually the guy that books all the people at Pig Trail Harley. So it's not the Harley dealer that deals with it, it's the promoter that actually rents all the spots out to them. So you're actually dealing with the promoter. The dealer kind of oversees, because some of the dealers get really funny about, like Speeds, for instance, doing dynos. A lot of them don't want the dyno truck on a lot, or like Amazon Adam. They don't want an oil change place if they do oil changes themselves. Bad news is they can't keep up with the rally. It's like in Leesburg, they ended up letting somebody last year because they couldn't keep up themselves. So you want to chase customers off, and you want to at least get somebody to have a decent oil change, or they have to go somewhere else and get it done. And at least there, you're Patreon, you're spending money with somebody that's on your lot, which is better than nothing.
Randall says the answer to every question is no unless you ask, right? Yep, because if you don't ask, you'll never know.
That's right.
Randall says you don't know my wife. Mark W says you don't know my wife. All right, they're all done.
I guess
The race is over. The party's over.
Yeah. So we got a lot of stuff coming on. We might do just some of. another live this week, just depending on how it is. But I'm getting a lot of videos I'm backing up on, so we need to get those out because I don't want to. I made a mistake before trying to do 2 videos a day, and I think it confused people. They didn't know which one to watch, which one not.
YouTube, it wasn't.
So we don't want to get to doing more than 1 video. And I got a couple videos we need to get out before the rally, or they're going to get lost. One is Cowboys. We want to get that out. We just did the Fair and Exchange. I want to get that one out. Those 2 are backlogged. I've also still got a video, which we could do after the fact. I got a video on Bullhead River Run. We sat down with the promoter there before we left. And I want to get that all set up and get that up. But we could do that one after because it's the same time Panama City is. So we got a whole month before that'll come up.
Steven says they said at Myrtle Beach, Harley, everything is booked. They want me to help out.
Give them a foot up the butt.
I'm tired.
They want you to help carry those murder victims away.
Of the dealerships?
Right.
Moto said he's tired of the dealerships.
And a lot of times, and people ask me that. Somebody said that the other day to me when I was talking about getting my bike worked on. And I get a lot of my work done at the rally. And except for the transmission, we just had to shop and Kingman work on it. But normally, and when people ask them, how often do you have your bike worked on a dealer? Really never. I usually have if it's a brand new bike, I usually have a couple of services done. Or if I just bought it from them, I usually have them do a couple of services. And that's it. I don't really have much done at dealerships. And I don't know, probably because I used to work at a dealership, not a motorcycle one, but a car dealership. And I've always, after that, I always had independent garages and stuff. So probably that's my thinking but it's a lot of times not saying anything wrong with Harley Davidson. I'm talking automotive. So it's kind of the same thing. When I sold Mac Tools for a while, if anybody's in the automotive field, I thought I could make a lot of money doing that. And I didn't do very well on that. But because I knew about automotive and cars and stuff, tools, it'd be easy to sell. Well, the funny thing was, I always thought I only worked at a dealership right out of high school. So I only worked there about a year. And then I went independent, big layoff in 79, 80, when they couldn't make big cars no more. I worked at Lincoln Mercury dealer. And so after that, had a gas station, had a couple garages, worked for a couple of people off and on. And I decided to sell Mac Tools. So I started going to these dealerships thinking, wow, these guys probably got a lot of, because back when I was in Ford, 78 and 79, Ford paid for the school for you to go to. So not the dealership had to pay for it, Ford did. So it was pretty easy for everybody to go through get the new transmission or the new tune, whatever was going on, variable, Ventura carburetors, whatever the heck was going on, you got up to date pretty quickly on it. Well, then when I started going back to these dealerships in the 80s, I guess it was in the 80s, I guess I had a school truck, late 80s. And I started watching these guys at the at the dealerships, and I'm like, oh my God, these guys don't know crap from a hole in their head. Not saying they're all that way, but a lot of them might be standing there, and I'm like, what you doing today? Oh, I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. Well, what's it doing? He's telling me what's going on. It's like, let's say it had a carburetor problem, and this guy's looking at the alternator, and I'm thinking, and I'm not saying nothing because I don't want, not my job. But I'd be walking away shaking my head, or a guy would have a whole bunch of parts from the parts room laying there. And I'm like, what you doing? He's like, oh, I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with this car.
Let's keep switching parts and see if it's going to help.
Put it back in the box, put it back on the shelf. Let this guy get it. Where normally you can't return electrical parts. Well, that's not saying they're all like that, but sometimes it is like that. Sometimes it's better to find a good independent mechanic that knows his work. That's right. So it all varies on what you're looking for. Now, I always say motorcycles might be a little different, and the more I get into it, the more I'll figure it out. But once I started later in the 90s, when cars started going computerized and computerized brakes and transmissions and all this stuff now, that I ended up getting to where I was a front end brake specialist. That was my main job. I dumped everything else. I quit rebuilding motors, all that stuff. I learned everything I could learn about doing alignments, full wheel alignments, all that stuff, and doing brakes and understanding everything that could possibly go wrong with a car, brakes and front end work, and learn alignments and all that stuff. And that's what I specialized in, which I did a lot better job than trying to be a mechanic that could do everything, because by doing everything, you just can't keep up with what's going on. Now cars are a little different now. You have one scanner now that does everything. Back when I was a mechanic, you had a Ford breakout box. You had to buy this and that, and it was just a pain in the ass.
So Steven says he's pretty sure Jan's gone at the dealership.
Did he leave with her too, her boyfriend?
I don't know.
If they're gone,
Steven
maybe.
says hi, and look who's on.
Can't see.
Howdy,
Art,
howdy.
we
Hey.
thought you died, Art. I was just about ready to call you because it's
Good
like,
evening,
geez, what
Robin
the
Sam.
heck happened to Art? That's
Hey,
my
Art.
buddy Art. One cool cat. Come on down to Daytona. We'll go riding this week.
You fly right down, right, Art?
We'll find you a bike.
Anyway.
But yeah, it's supposed to be in the 80s here all week and 90s. So it's going to be some great riding and stuff going on
Mike
down
says,
here.
hey, Art.
And, but yeah, it's, I haven't heard from you in a long time, Art. I want to call you. Maybe we'll call you this week. Chat when you get off work. Are you working nights again or are you working days?
David Eastwood says, give a thumbs up if you're on. 68, boy. Everybody turned us on after the thing was over.
Yeah.
I wish, he said. All right, so an hour and 45 minutes.
Well, now you got everybody on.
Well,
Yeah, tell them what's going on. We're in Hooligans in Daytona. Well, actually in Ormond Beach. There's 3 hooligans here. Hooligans. Like hooligans. Hooligans. But yeah, so I had a sandwich and she had the soup. She liked her soup. And I had French dip, or they call it a hooligan dip or something, I think they call it.
Both night and day.
Well,
They got him working 24/7.
He's back to that job again. And depending on the work he's got going on. So yeah, it's been nuts. And the garage is almost done, Art. And not almost done. Trying to raise money for the air conditioner. And I was hoping Michael was going to move out there and retire. I was going to make him a deal. He could store his cars in my parking lot.
It'd be pays for the air conditioner.
Yeah. But now he'll retire for another year. He's like you are. You're going to keep dragging it out.
Yeah.
To die at work.
Don't say that.
I don't regret retiring at all. This will be coming around 3 years now. And it'll be 3 years, right? Yeah.
19, you retired.
Almost 4 years.
20,
I would not. I'm 62 now. It's like me. Art, do you know you can be drawing your Social Security already? I just got my first Social Security check in December. Yeah, it's that much more money, and
every little bit helps.
That's right. Because when I sat down and figured it out, anybody's wanting to do Social Security training for you. Sat down and figured it out. If I waited till I was 67 to draw my Social Security, I would have to live till I was 88 or 89, I don't remember the exact date, to make up for the money that I would have made from 62 to 67. The odds are I probably won't live that long. Lucky I made it to 62 to draw it now. So get the money, put it in the bank, spend it, do whatever you want with it. But 62, draw it. And now it can affect depending on how much money you make too. I've heard people say that. 65, you almost have to start drawing it, but not too far from that. Michael's just turned 65, didn't he? He's gonna wait
Friday.
He's gonna wait another whole year because his boys are where they graduate. Trying to get him to go to Sturgis. He hasn't made a decision because the boys will maybe want some extra boys to hang out with you this summer for a week, Art. You can drop them off.
Yeah.
They'll be 18 years old. One of them can drive. You can hang out with your nephew.
Steven said he took it at 65.
And we were originally going to wait till 62 to retire, but with her ailment, and she couldn't work anymore, and she was living at the house in Arizona. I was still in California. After about 6 to 8 months of that, I'm like, forget this. Life's too short, and money's not everything.
Now we're together 24/7.
And when we talk about this, people say, well, you always talk about money on your channel. Well, yeah, it's this.
If we just stayed at home, we'd be fine.
That's right. And we could do a rally. We could probably do Sturgis every year and have no problem paying for a campground or staying at the Buffalo Chip and paying full price and doing all that. But we wouldn't be covering them with YouTube. But we'd be going to have a good time with ourselves and people that we're there with. So
we wouldn't have our own little
club.
Yeah.
The Pateen Club.
Nation.
There you go. And so we like to do this, and it's just like some of the other YouTubers have commented about us. They, they're getting free spots. That's why they do it. And the Monkey Man said the other day, when I get old,
when I grow up, I want to be Bob and Tam
and travel around and do what they do. And maybe you will take over when we step down. You can take over what we do. And but yeah, it's definitely fun to do. Helping Adam. Amsoil Adam, helping him build his channel up. That was pretty fun. And a lot of people asked us that too. Can you help us do your channel? Well, the only reason we could do Adam was
he was everywhere we went.
And it was easy to work with him. And he helped us out too with the subscribers and stuff. So we kind of helped each other out. I mean, it's like Prime Cut Pro and Awesome Documentary and some of these other guys that we talk about at rallies and stuff. You know, we give them shout outs, which that was a great honor we had from Prime Cut Pro last year when he was in Laconia. He come running up and said, I got a subscriber from you guys. I got a subscriber. I said, really? 960,000 subscribers, and you want to thank us for one?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, the guy actually said, I came over here from Bob and Tam's. They were talking about you, so I came over and checked you guys out, and I subscribed. So it was really nice. It was a great honor for Kelly to tell us that. Oh, something else, since Dawn's on, I don't know what happened. YouTube's done this a couple of times to me, that they give me comments from like 4 to 6 months ago. And Dawn was one of them that was on there. And I made a comment back to her. Because I always answer everybody's comment, no matter what you say. Now, YouTube's been kind of funny on replies. If I don't catch them they don't show up like this, where I can read them. They show up only in my, like, things that come up on your phone. You pull that down, shows you things that just came up on your phone. It'll say somebody replied. If I don't hit it there, I never see the reply. So YouTube's supposed to be putting it now on here to where we can get to replies. Now, they're also doing to where we can now comment back on shorts. So I got a couple of you guys have commented, and I comment back. So I do look at every comment, and I comment to everybody. Even if you put a stupid comment up, like, hey, you guys are a bunch of clowns. I use this right. Thanks for watching. And let it go.
So if for some reason, you know, because that's what he always says, I always answer every comment. And we had a person that said, you never answered my comment. But like he says, sometimes it'll be like 6 months later and it'll come up. And it's like, why did that one take so long?
Yeah, so Dawn's was just like that. I was thinking that today because we haven't seen Dawn on in a while. And I was looking and I'm like, where are these coming from? And some of them are like Steven had a couple on there today that came up this morning, and they were anywhere from 4 to 6 months ago. And what I do is I have my comment on my phone. There's a place you can mark for new comments. So whenever somebody makes a comment, it's there until I comment back. If I don't comment back, it stays there. Like some of you will stay because if you ask a question that I can't answer, I've got to find somebody to answer that question. Like some of you will ask them, like my lifters or something like that. I didn't write all that crap down. So I have to call speeds, or sometimes you guys will say, hey, I got a problem with an engine and it's doing this and this and this. Well, I find somebody that will answer your question.
She says she's ghosted.
No, well, it's fine. And
you can watch. You don't have to comment. Yeah. There's a lot of people that do that.
Yeah. And so, yeah, watching is better than nothing. And comment, we just know who you are. And it's nice. And like I say, some people, just like we used to do, we used to watch it on our TV at home. Now, some TVs you're supposed to be able to make comments now. I hate doing that when she got the passwords on all the TV shows and stuff. And I'm like, here, you put your stupid password in. I'm not, because you got to move the little cursor and hit it. Screw that. I ain't got time for that. If it's on my phone, it's so.
Can you say it? I wonder. You know how you hit the button.
Yeah, but you got to use Alexa. So I don't know if you tell Alexa that.
I tried to do that and screwed our Alexas all up.
Yeah.
Pamoto says Pamoto. There you go.
Got it.
Yeah, Pamoto's got a YouTube channel.
Yep.
And he's kind of neat. He does a lot of shorts and little videos and stuff. He does something that I'd really like to do, but we don't do it that often. Don't think about it. He talks to a lot of people when he's riding past them and stuff. And it's really neat that he does that. And I wish I could do that. And when they're following people and stuff, you know, they'll be out there on A1A and they'll go back and forth with them, and they got them on camera. And those are some great shots. I told her the other day, I said, you need to get some shots like that when you're on the back. You know, of people, we'll pass them up and let them pass us up, and you can see the other bikes and stuff. And I think that's kind of neat. And
Steve suggests you answer all my questions. Amazing how you find the time. Tell me about it. He usually gets up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning when he can't sleep no more, and I'll see the light on, and he'll be over there going through the comments.
And I try to keep up with them as much as I can. The only time it gets bad is like sometimes we get in Sturgis. Sturgis sometimes gets the worst, especially like when we had Antifa, which really wasn't Antifa there, and everybody. I still get comments on that, and those happened. That happened last year in Sturgis. I got a whole bunch, like 6 months after we were out of Sturgis. I got all these comments after that. That was 2 years ago. All the comments came up about people saying stuff about Antifa, and I'm like, that's over. Oh crap, that was 6 months ago they commented. Why did I not see this? And there is a place if you put something that kind of looks like a .com, they put it in another file for me to look at to make sure that's some restrictions that I put on there.
Stuff.
Yeah. So those I have to go into, and sometimes people put cuss words and stuff, and that'll go over there. If I don't know you, then they just get thrown in the trash. I'm not putting them back on. And and most of them I always flag and put, yeah, they're fine. They're just the way they wrote it. the way you wrote it made it almost sound like something that you were saying, but you really didn't.
You know, that auto spell check, whatever that
Yeah,
crap
well, that's what
is.
YouTube uses. They actually have a computer that's watching what. Now here they don't. This is different here because this is through StreamYard, and then it's going to YouTube. So they're not over. They're not looking at this. They look at this at the end because I had it last week. It did that after we got off. It's like, what is it doing now? It red flagged my conversation. We didn't say nothing about anything. Well, then about an hour later, it switched to green, so we were making some money on it. This one I didn't do because we did this. We were planning on doing a Sunday, but we're still kind of messed up with days. And I told her a while ago, I'm like, oh crap, this is Sunday. We need to do a live someplace. She's like, where are we going to do it at? We want to do one down at Peanuts. Well, I thought they were open today. We knew they wouldn't be open late. And for a while now, we're going to have to do our Sundays earlier because we're just not used to seeing up so late right now. And
we're still getting used to that time change. We're in jet lag right now.
Yeah. So to start at 7 and then go to 9, and then we got to get back the camper and take showers and all that. We ran out of water last night, so I got like a 2-second shower instead of my 10-second shower, military shower. So at least I got my hair washed and the important things washed, and that was it. Didn't get anything else done. And couldn't even flush the toilet. We had no water. So we had to wait until this morning. And I got the hose out and we hooked up to his garage and filled up enough to, we should get through the weekend. I don't like to fill the tank all the way up because we don't have a place to dump at his house. So we got to get through till Saturday without filling up the toilet. We don't worry about because we use the bathroom most of the time when we're out here on the road. So we only use it in the evening and then go to bed and in the morning. So that I don't worry so much about. But taking the showers, we can usually do 7 days if we're sparing. Let's take a shower every night.
You wash, and you rinse off. That's it. I bet you we probably, between the two of us, don't use a gallon of water.
Probably not. But we use, but then that's why people always say, you guys use the showers at the campgrounds when you're there all the time? Yes, we do. You get in there, you turn the hot.
Take shower.
When we stopped just the one night at one of our 1,000 trails, it was like, it looked like a sauna in there when I got out. So my back was hurting. I turned it all the way up on hot. There's nobody else in there. And
that's what I told him too. I said, don't wait for me if I'm not out. Just go on back. I'll get there when I get there. Enjoy our nice long showers.
And so we do that when we're out. But this time it's tough because we're only going to have Saturday through Thursday at a campground, and then we're back on private property again for the rest of the rally. We just couldn't get in any of our campgrounds like we normally we can get in the 2 weeks before. We've stayed down at Destination Daytona, but so many people are getting into this industry thinking this is a cheaper way to live, or you're a snowbird coming down to Florida to hang out for the whole time.
Well, what gets me is we belong to this membership, right? We pay dues, we pay our maintenance fees, we pay all this money, and then like the one at Destination Daytona here, it's called Sunshine.
Right next to it.
Whatever. And it's like we go and they're like, oh, it's for the Encore Park, and I said, yeah, but we don't have any openings.
Yeah,
but if you want to pay,
we're paying like $500 a year to be able to use their
oh,
camping.
well, you can stay if you want to pay. And it's like, well, no, we belong. They've got 650 spots. 12 of them, 12 of their 650 spots are for Encore members. So, and you can only book 60 days in advance. So if you don't call on that first day you want to get in, book, and the 12 spots are gone. So there you go. That's my rant.
It's just, yeah, that's hurtful.
Makes me mad. It's like I'm paying money and there's 12 spots there.
We stay till April. You can stay anywhere you want.
April, all the snowbirds go home.
Start heading home. So we don't have too much show, but most of the time, once the rally's over here, we're pretty well set the rest of the time in Florida.
It got really quiet.
Yeah, everybody's going home.
Well, they turned off all that.
Yeah. Well, they turned it down. They turned it down. They turned it down from what they had. Now they got Duck Family on, and the cops. Fox Nation's on.
All right.
Roseanne Barr.
2 hours, 1 hour and 59 minutes.
All right, we can wrap her up.
So thanks for hanging out with us tonight. 63.
Okay. Well, thank all of you for coming out tonight.
Yep. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're down here in Daytona. We're going to get you some great information and pass it on to you. If you're on your way down, be careful, be safe. Watch out for all the other nuts on the road. We'll see you soon. Grab our channel if you haven't already. Share it with your family and friends. Give us a big thumbs up. Ring that bell for notifications, and we'll see you on the next video.
What video?
Whatever video you put
Tomorrow,
out.
we got a great video coming up. We're going to show you a hotel that is condemned that's still booking online. You won't believe this.
Yep.
When you get done watching that video, take that hotel and Google their website. Look at the pool that they have in the back. Then look at my video again where I show you the pool.
Sounds like saying union news. That's what Art said. Angie Price. Hello, you two. Hello, Angie. And goodbye.
Yeah,
Are we done?
we're wrapping it up tonight. We're in Daytona. Got a lot of great stuff we're going to have before the rally. So if you're coming down, make sure you keep watching. And if you're not coming down, keep watching because you might see some neat stuff that's going on here in Daytona.
And you'll want to come down and see it next year.
Daytona's pretty neat. It is the second biggest motorcycle rally in the United States. You know, Sturgis is #1. This is #2. And we'll have to kind of see where #3 is. A lot of people say Laconia is #2. It ain't. It's Daytona. A lot of rallies, and we'll talk about that at the end of the season. We'll talk about all the different rallies in the United States, and they're all a little different. But a lot, probably 75 or 80% of rallies are local rallies. Galveston, Laconia, Ocean City, Ohio Bike Week. There's a lot of them. The really only ones that really bring people all over the United States and foreign is Daytona and Sturgis. And then Sturgis, of course, does the biggest job of it. Everybody wants to go to Sturgis. Is on everybody's bucket list. And if you haven't been there in a while, it's that's a whole other story. It ain't no different than it was before. Just a lot more people going and a lot more things to do. But it's just like here. You can't tell me that this is the same way it was 40 years ago or 50 years ago, whatever. This is the 80 something, ain't it? I don't know. I don't know how long they've been doing it. Somebody tell me in the comments how long it's been. We're not gonna look. She's gonna look it up, but we're gonna leave. See you all later. Watch tomorrow's video. Check out all the videos we have going. If you want to help us out, don't have the extra money to ever donate or join Patreon or anything like that. You can always just watch some of the playlists. Let the commercials run and stuff like that. Just throw your phone down, turn the computer on. That will generate us money from the ads that YouTube puts on, and that makes us money. We're going to be redesigning the T-shirts. We're going to have a new format on T-shirts you guys can check out.
82nd.
So it's the 82nd year. So for 82nd year, the rally this year isn't going to be the same as it was even 20 years ago. Every rally is going to get bigger and better. It's like Disneyland. Disneyland ain't like it was when I went in the 60s. And she went. It wasn't the same. It ain't nowhere near that like today. Everything is different. That's the way the world goes around.
I beg to differ, saying it's the happiest place on earth. Because when I go there, I am not happy. Too many people. All you do all day long is stand in line. Ride 2 rides. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Another one of her gripes. See, she's on the roll tonight.
One of my rants. Oh, 14,
she's a chill pill.
14 hours we spent at Disneyland when we took our kids, and we rode 2 rides and saw 1 show in that 14 hours.
This is in the 80s.
The rest was standing in line all day. So there you go.
One more kid was sick.
I never, ever step another foot on a Disneyland property.
But how many times have you been to Disneyland in Florida, in California?
With my grandkids. Wow. And I only go because of them. But I don't say that's the happiest place on earth because I am not happy when I'm there. So, what does it say? Need a T-shirt. Steven needs a T-shirt.
Fantasyland has a whole new meaning now. Yeah.
Bye.
So with that, we're going to leave you all. We'll see you all later. We'll definitely have a live next Sunday. We'll figure out where we're going to be at next Sunday for our live. And so that'll be coming up. We may do something this week if something good comes up, but we'll have a lot of great videos that you guys can check out to build up to the happiest thing going on in Florida. Daytona
It's
Bike
a
Week.
much happier place here than it is.
You can ride on your bike and
the
enjoy just the ride. So we're going to talk about that. I seen a guy when I was watching that 2-lane change guy. He was 2 lanes, 2 change. I don't know, whatever. 2 life change. I don't know what the color.
2 lane slide.
There you go. And they were talking about how they like why they ride their bikes. And I could have gone over that. I don't know how old those guys are. But I got my first bike when I was 14 years old and had mini bikes before that. And wasn't until I really got, I don't know, maybe it's been all the bikes I had. It was the only place I could really go and relax was riding my motorcycle. And
you need to ride a little bit more.
You think? That's what we need to ride more, I tell you that. All right, goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
See you later. Thanks for hanging out.